Hello and welcome to Glendower Golf Club for the third and final round of the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship. We've been treated to a wonderful course, presented exceptionally well for play this week, and the professionals from the Sunshine Tour have certainly taken to it. There's been some great scoring out there, as we've seen so far in the first two rounds of this event, the second of the Rise Up series, a new initiative by the Sunshine Tour to get us back and competing in professional golf since the COVID-19 pandemic struck earlier in the year. The African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship got underway on Wednesday here at Glendower Golf Club. One of the early starters, Martin Rower, cashed in on near ideal conditions. He carded 7 birdies and a blemish-free 65 to grab the outright first-round lead.
I played solid the whole day, to be honest. There was no wind this morning, so if you hit the ball in the fairway, you could really attack the pins. And I actually missed a few putts early on, but then my caddy just told me to stay patient and managed to make some coming in. And yeah, shoot 65 first round. I'm pretty stoked.
Lyle Rowe came closest to matching Rower. He was 4 groups behind him, but also enjoyed the best the day had to offer. He got off to a flying start with 5 birdies in his first 6 holes. The Port Elizabeth native struggled to adjust to inland winter conditions last week, missing the cut at Killarney, but he was back to his best with an opening 66.
Coming from the coast, conditions are very different. They're softer, fairways are softer, the greens are softer. So yeah, it definitely makes a bit of a difference. But there's no excuse for the golf I played. So yeah, it's nice to obviously get a decent score under the belt.
Jaden Shaper was in the third last group out on Wednesday and posted comfortably the lowest round of the afternoon. He mixed 6 birdies with 1 dropped shot in a round of 67 for a share of 3rd place.
It's a good, solid first round score. Obviously not. I'm happy with the score that I put out, but did leave a few out there, and those all are stuck in my mind a little bit. But yeah, get out there tomorrow and just continue with where I left off, and hopefully hold more putts. Yeah.
The shot of the day belonged to Jake Redman. An eagle 2 on the 18th hole helped propel him to a 2 under 70 and a share of 16th.
It's about 95 meters. I knew I had to land it behind the flag. Greens are so quick, and you just get a little bit of spin on it, and it's going forever. So I played for about 100, 105, and I just hit it perfect. Never left the flag. Landed about probably 15 foot behind the flag and just spun back in perfectly. But it took so long to go in. I couldn't see the bottom of the hole where I was hitting my second from, and I just walked up, and by the time I got up, I actually watched it go in. So it was pretty cool.
Daniel van Tonder, Heinrich Breiners and Oliver Becker joined Shaper in a tie for 3rd after 67s. 4 golfers are a further shot back on 4 under, including last week's winner, Darren Fichardt.
African Bank still offers SA's best investment rate of 12.22%. Visit africanbank.co.za for more information.
It's a bunched leaderboard after round 2 of the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship. 3 golfers are tied for top spot here at Glendower, with just 1 round left in the second event of the Rise Up series. Jaden Shaper was first to post 7 under par. He got off to a shaky start with an eagle and 2 bogeys in his first 4 holes. He turned in level par, but finished well, signing for a 2 under 70.
Yeah, yesterday we were able to win, but today was a lot more. Course play a little bit tougher. First few holes, I'm teeing off the first side today. The pins were a little bit tucked away in the beginning, but I just didn't get off to a good start. Just kept missing fairways. I hit 3 fairways in my first 12 holes, so kind of put myself under a lot of pressure. 2 3-putts as well, 3-putt on the first and a 3-putt on the 9th. But then last few holes kind of just got it together. Kind of knew that the backside's a lot easier, a lot more accessible with the 2 par 5s and a lot of the short par 4s. Not much trouble. So yeah, I finished a little bit stronger, just like I needed to. But yeah, still left quite a few out there with the way I was hitting the golf ball in the beginning, and yeah, a few bad mistakes with the putts.
Overnight leader Martin Rower surrendered his outright advantage. Conditions were incredibly tricky with strong gusting winds, but he battled well. He signed for a level par 72 to finish where he started on 7 under.
Yeah, I played really solid the whole round, to be honest. Tee to green, I had control of my ball for pretty much the whole round. Just struggled on the greens, to be honest. I didn't really convert any of the opportunities that I created. And yeah, obviously had a 3-putt on the last hole, which kind of keeps a bit of a sour taste in the mouth. But Yeah, at the beginning of the day, if you told me level par with the conditions, I wouldn't have been too unhappy, no.
Daniel van Tonder began the second round 2 shots off the pace, but got off to a flying start. He birdied 3 of his first 4 holes, but struggled to maintain the momentum. He signed for a 70 to finish on 7 under par.
No, I mean, it was quite tough. I mean, I think the wind was blowing about 30 k's an hour. So it was quite tough, and the greens is slick as well, so you have to pick your lines and not go for them, otherwise you're going to have easy 3-putts coming, you know. But the course was playing really well. It's hard. You need to hit good shots and stuff, but it was fun.
Jaco Alers posted the low round of the day, a 4 under 68. It was a round aided by 2 eagles and 3 birdies, but he did also make 3 bogeys along the way to finish on 6 under and solo 4th.
Greens got firm, downwind, difficult to stop them. But again, the finish from 13, you're playing downwind all the way home, so there's a few birdie holes, and I took advantage of that. And that, yeah, I don't necessarily play well on this golf course. I haven't had the best track record, so this is very nice.
Last week's winner, Darren Fichardt, lurks a further shot off the pace after rounds of 68 and 71. Neil Skitterkat is also on 5 under, while Jake Roos, Louis Albertse and George Coetzee tied 7th. Well, that's the story of Sunshine Tour Championship so far being played at Glendower Club. 3 tied at the top of the leaderboard after 2 in this 54-hole event, the second of the Sunshine Tour's Rise Up series. It's another glorious day on the Highveld here in South Africa, and really good conditions we have had all week. There's been a bit of a breeze around, though, and that has made scoring slightly trickier than the pros would have liked. There was definitely some gusting wind out yesterday the guys had to contend with, but same sort of conditions today, so it shouldn't be too bad, but around 30 k's per hour in places, and that's going to make it slightly trickier for the professionals out there. There's a look at how things stand at the moment as the lead groups approach the turn. It is Daniel van Tonder who is out in front. He has broken clear of the logjam and 1-shot advantage for him at this stage. 2 under on his round through 7 holes. Neil Skitterkat 3 under through 8. He's already through the par 5. And he's moved into a solo 2nd place there. Jaco Alers, who started in 4th place, is currently in 3rd spot. He's moved up 1. But there's some big names lurking. George Coetzee, Jake Roos, and last week's winner of the first Rise Up event, Darren Fichardt. He's currently in a share of 4th spot. Here are the lead now, the lead group. They have reached the 8th hole here at Glendower Golf Club, the par 5, and certainly an opportunity for the professionals to score. Dani van Tonder here in picture. Got off to a pretty good start in the event with a 67 in round 1. Struggled somewhat yesterday, birdied 3 of his first 4 holes, but then let it slide. Eventually signed for a 70. But just off the back of the green here on 8. And this for eagle. Greens running incredibly true and incredibly fast this week as well. 12.7 on the stimp this morning. Was up to 14 on Tuesday for the practice round. It dropped a little bit to 13.5 for those 2 days. But today slightly slower, but still running exceptionally pure, and the pros have taken well to that. They've loved the conditions that have been presented this week by Glendower Golf Club, and truly testament to the work that has been done by Sandy and Mike and Damon and everyone here at Glendower Golf Club to get the course into such good shape. Really has been a treat to see the professionals play so well around here, in particular on the greens. Martin Rowe, who's been part of the conversation all week now with his eagle attempt on the 8th. Little bit defensive from Martin Rowe, leaves that a bit shorter than he would have liked to have. That's still an opportunity for birdie and to pick up another shot. Got off to a bit of a shaky start today. Hasn't been all that good for him. Made birdie on 2, which is the other par 5 on the front 9. Dropped a shot on 4 and then double bogeyed the 5th. And that's seen him slide to 2 over on his round today, so not an ideal start for him. Or for this man in picture, Jaden Shaper, also 2 over on his round today. But this will get him back to level par. Not to be for Shaper, and a bit of work for him to do for birdie as well. Really a bumpy start for the youngster, the 19-year-old. Dropped on the first, dropped on the second, which is really giving 2 shots away to the rest of the field. Did get one back on the 5th hole, but made another bogey on 6 and can potentially get one back here on the 8th hole. Martin Rowe sizing up his birdie putt here on 8. Great start to the tournament for him, a 65 in the first round. Clean card, 7 birdies, really was impressive from him. And that's a little careless. We saw the potential for that to happen yesterday as he came in 3 putts at the last, and really that does leave a bit of a sour taste in the mouth for any golfer who finishes up his round with a drop, in particular on 18. And Martin will feel he probably let one slip there as he fails to cash in on the par 5. A par for him as he remains 5 under, and at this stage that's a good few shots off the pace. Outright leader Daniel van Tonder at this stage looking for a birdie to extend his advantage. Oh, that is heartbreaking. Lipped that one out, but remains in a good position. Does Daniel van Tonder. 9 under par for him, 2 under on his round today, and things going reasonably well for him. Clean cards so far for the man playing out of Copperleaf Golf Club. Birdies on 5 and 7. And Jaden Shaper taps in for his birdie as well. A little bit disappointed he didn't cash in on the eagle. A little shake of the head there. Not too happy with the work he's done so far. It's been bumpy, to say the very least. But he's now back to 6 under par, and that's good enough for a share of 4th place at this stage. Ahead to the 9th green, Yaku Ahlers unfortunately found the water just shy of the green. So playing from just in front. That is 4th shot, so he is unfortunately going to drop at least 1 shot. Should be able to tidy that up for just a bogey, but also not the best of efforts from Yaku Ahlers. Bumpy start for him as well. Dropped on the first, dropped on the second. Did get shots back on the 2nd, the 5th, and the 6th, but looks like he's going to lose one here and potentially slide back to level par for his round. Not the worst of scores. Conditions are still pretty tricky out there, and the golfers need to be slightly careful of what they are doing. They can get into trouble very quickly and very easily on this golf course. There's certainly a group to watch out for, though. The second last one out. It's Ahlers alongside winner last week of the inaugural event of the Rise Up Series, Darren Fichardt. That remarkable 6 under par 64 that he carded in the final round that propelled him to his 18th Sunshine Tour victory. And here he is on the 9th looking for birdie here to turn into under par. Just 1 dropped shot for him on the 4th hole today, but did manage to birdie the 2nd, the par 5. And, of course, the 8th hole, which is the other par 5 here. A bit of work to do coming up the slope. Doesn't like that immediately off the bat. Seemed to be struggling a little bit yesterday. Wasn't in the greatest of moods after his round. He did manage to just coast to a 71 yesterday. And that's on the back of his first round 68. So he remains at 6 under. 3 of the pace at this stage set by Daniel van Tonder. So Darren Fichardt not looking absolutely delighted at this stage with how things are going. Now this man got off to a fast start today. Was out the blocks quick with 3 birdies in his first 4 holes. Birdied the 2nd, the 3rd and the 4th holes. And that is a tough stretch. Made par on 5, dropped on the 6th, which has proven to be pretty tough for the pros all week. Birdied the 7th. And now looking for a birdie on 9. Not to be, but pretty good effort from Neil Skittercat as he just knocks that one in for par. and will turn in a good position. 3 under on his round today, certainly making a move, climbing up the leaderboard from a share of 5th, which is where he began after 36 holes, and now into a solo 2nd position. Arlo's now to clean up for bogey on the 9th. And he does tap that in, so that'll slide him back to 6 under par, and he will turn in level for his round today, and all the hard work being undone, unfortunately.
African Bank still offers SA's best investment rate of 12.22%. Visit africanbank.co.za for more information.
And a huge thank you to African Bank for their support of the Sunshine Tour and the new Rise Up series as we look to get professional golf back and going after the COVID-19 pandemic enforced break. Of course, the last time the professionals played was at the Tour Championships back in February. That was the last event they had. The Q Schools, of course, in early March, but nothing since then. And that was until last week, the first event, the Betway Championship at Killarney. And this, the second back, the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship from Glendower Golf Club. You can see the flags and the banners there flapping a little bit. Gusts of up to 30 kilometers per hour today at Glendower. And that is going to make it slightly tricky for the professionals. Such a venue for championship golf. It is a venue that's hosted a number of big events. 8-time host venue for the South African Open and 6-time host venue for the BMG Classic. Who will add their name to the list today? Could it be one of these two? Jaden Shaper, the young 19-year-old, and Daniel van Tonder, a veteran campaigner. Plenty of experience for him. Been a professional since 2011. Finished runner-up last year on the Order of Merit. Came agonizingly close to pipping JC Ritchie to the title, but just wasn't to be. A fantastic conclusion to the season we saw in February, and really went down to the wire. It came down to the last event, the Tour Championship, and Van Tonder not able to pip JC Ritchie to the title. But certainly a good season for him last year. He finished 2nd on the Order of Merit. Second time he's finished 2nd, actually. The first time back in 2014 when he won twice that campaign. Caddy Abbey on the bag for him as usual, as they do the math to figure out what he's got left into the 9th hole. Shortish par 4 can cause a few problems, as we saw with Jaco Arles a little bit earlier on. If you get things wrong, there is water guarding the front edge of the green, and that really is the biggest concern for the professionals. A flag that they're maybe not going to get too aggressive with, a little too close to the back. It's 23 paces on and 4 from the right, and really there's trouble at the back of this green with the bunker guarding any shot hit long, any shot hit short, and really the professionals need to be spot on with this. Jaden Shaper's been excellent off the tee today, certainly better than the first couple of rounds. Seem to be on the 9th. Shaper's 2nd into the 9th there, leaving that quite short. Doesn't want to be flirting too much with the back edge of this green, but not absolutely delighted by the looks of things with how he struck that, and leaving himself a lengthy putt for birdie up the hill on the 9th. Martin Rowan now. Maybe try to be a little bit more aggressive. Tricky with the wind, by the looks of things, straight into the player's face, and that can cause a few doubts, especially when you've got trouble short and long. Martin Rowe, of course, hailing from KZN. The coastal conditions certainly preparing him well for what he's faced this week at Glendower with gusting winds, and taking a little bit off his approach there. Try and control the spin and the trajectory, and a pretty good effort from him. Tonder now with his second. Yeah, pretty good shot from Tonder, hole high. Bit of work to do for his birdie. It's certainly the good miss to be slightly left of the flag there on 9. And Tonder making no mistake with his approach. It's not really a flag you're going to go after. And the professionals showing plenty of respect to that.
African Bank still offers SA's best investment rate of 12.22%. Visit africanbank.co.za for more information.
BMW SA Open at Glendower, my favorite golf course. Playing on that course, that tournament for the first time, playing so well, making the cut, going to the weekend. When I checked the draw, I was playing with my brother Toto Timba. It was so nice, and we had fun on the course. Going to last day on Sunday, the reception we got when we were up in the 8th, holding South African. I was a bit emotional. That was class, you know. It took the country to stand up, and they saw that how proud we are with our country.
SA Open, I had so much fun. You know, it wasn't about winning, but it was playing the week. So I really enjoyed myself, and playing Saturday and Sunday with Muzi, it was phenomenal, you know. And on Sunday when we hold the flag and everything, that was history made, you know, and that shows brotherhood and shows the nation that we're here, you know. There's so many talented out there. All we need is just help and make a difference in somebody's life.
African Bank still offers SA's best investment rate of 12.22%. Visit africanbank.co.za for more information.
Such an incredible moment seeing the two golfers, Musi and Toto, walking up 18 here at Glendower during the SA Open, and a wonderful moment for South African sport and South African golf in particular. Jaden Shaper with his effort on 9 for birdie. Not to be, just drops off a little bit towards the end of that putt, and that to clean up for his par for Shaper. There's a look at how things stand at the moment. This man in picture lining his putt up, Daniel Tonder, currently leading the way on 9 under par, just ahead of Neil Skittercat, with the experienced trio of George Coetzee, Darren Fichardt and Yaku Ahlers in hot pursuit on 6 under par. Tonder's effort for birdie just drifting wide of the hole. Got to be so defensive on that putt. Going across the ridge, didn't want to be too aggressive with it, but he should finish up for his par. Does do indeed. And Daniel Tonder stays at 9 under for the first 9 holes of the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship. He's the man out in front at this stage, and a 1-stroke lead over Neil Skittercat, who is in the group ahead of him. Now, the third player in this group, Martin Rowe, best shot of them, but still not really a flag that they can get too close to and get too cute with. Rowe for a much-needed birdie to steady the ship and give him a bit of momentum heading into the back 9. But not to be. Certainly has played plenty of golf here over the last little while. has spoken about how much he has played and practiced here and has showed in the way he's gone about things. But not going his way today. Just far too many mistakes early on. And that double on 5 really stunting his momentum. So Rowe is going to turn in 2 under par and 5 under in total, 4 off the pace. So Shaper as well also tapping in for his par. And he may slide alongside Rowe in a share of 6th spot. That's how things stand, though. Everybody through 9 holes here at Glendower Golf Club. It's Daniel van Tonder out in front, 9 under par for him. 1 shot better than Neil Skitticat, with George Coetzee, Darren Fichardt and Jaco Alers on 6 under and 3 off the pace. Heading to the back 9 now, and this is the 10th hole at Glendower. Glorious par 4 down the hill, working its way from the clubhouse towards a penalty area just in front of the green. See the water there. And tricky pin today for the professionals to have to deal with. It's 4 on from the left and 6 on from the front. And also not one that they're really going to go after. You can see the safe miss for 2 of them at least has been short and to the right. And Jaco Alers certainly not one to go after that one. Bit of a mixed bag from Alers today. Bogeys on his first 2 holes. Birdies on the 3rd, 5th and 6th. And then a dropped shot on the 5th. Level par on his round today. 6 under in total, and that's a little bit too aggressive from Alers. He's got a bit of work to do to clean up there potentially for his par, but not the best effort from Jaco Alers there. Not totally delighted with that one. He'll just go and mark that one and make sure it's out of the way for Darren Fichardt, who's also front right on this screen. It looks like Neil Skitticat's the only golfer who's on board in 2. Darren Fichardt also with the safe miss, just short and right. Neil Skitticat might be on the green, but certainly the furthest between him and Darren Fichardt. And this for birdie to join Van Tonder at the top of the leaderboard. Downhill snaking putt, and also one he doesn't want to be too aggressive with. At one of the keys here at Glendower Golf Club, leaving yourself in a good position with the putt coming back. Don't want to be putting too much pressure on the game. Have seen a couple of pros get overly aggressive, and that brings a 3-putt into the equation, but Skitticat just cozying that one in, and that should be fine for a par for him. Darren Fichardt now with his 3rd shot. Electing to use the putter from off the green. Certainly the conditions good enough to do that. Again, didn't want to get too aggressive with that. Leaves it a little bit short, but not the worst result, as he should be able to knock that one in for par for Fichardt. Darren certainly looking a little bit frustrated with the way things are going today. Came off yesterday and said he wasn't in the best state mentally, and seems to be a little bit frustrated. I guess it's always tough to follow up a 64 to win a tournament and then come back the next week and try and reproduce that. Jaco Alers for par. Unbelievable effort. He really did make it difficult for himself there, and really can't be putting too much stress and strain on the game if he's to stay in that position. But Alers in a good spot, well poised heading into the back nine, certainly scoring opportunities for the pros. But Alers will have to make a move 3 back at this stage of our current leader, Daniel van Tonder. Darren Fichardt lining up his par putt here on 10. Oh, that's unfortunate. Does drift a little bit more than it looks like it will, and Fichardt just not giving enough to that one. Unfortunately, a dropped shot. Wasn't really out of position on the hole. Left himself in a good spot, even if it was a miss, but not happy with that at all. So Darren Fichardt sliding back to a level for the day. And, yeah, unfortunately not going his own way today. Skittercat making no mistake with his par, and he stays closest to Daniel van Tonder, 8 under par at this stage, just 1 back of our current leader. And Skittercat looking pretty good at this stage. Glendower looking absolutely superb for the 3rd and final round of the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship. Not on my own today here in commentary. I have been joined by a familiar face by this stage. He did join us last week. Thomas App, the Deputy Commissioner of the Sunshine Tour, sporting the new Sunshine Tour buffs. Thomas, those look absolutely fantastic. You guys have done such a great job with getting the brand out there this week. First of all, congratulations on another wonderful event that you guys have managed to put on for the professionals.
Thanks, Rich. We're very lucky. Off the back of the Betway Championship last week, got our partners African Bank on board this week, so very, very happy and very pleased that things are moving forward. Very excited. Leaderboard looks great. Great names up top of the board up there. So so far so good. Very happy.
It's been a time of change for everybody, I guess, having to deal with what's been going on with the COVID-19 pandemic. You guys have made the most of the opportunity to change and innovate, and part of it is what we've seen you wearing now, the buffs, a change in corporate identity for the Sunshine Tour.
Absolutely, Rich. We haven't officially announced it. We're going to be doing it in a couple of weeks' time, but you've got the inside scoop again, and so do our fans and followers. Yeah, we've gone down the route of going with a green and gold color. During the midst of the lockdown, we decided saying, hey, let's show some solidarity to our country, our partnership, what we can bring to the table. And we liked it so much, we thought, hey, this is the new way of doing things. We're going through so many changes, so many new things. Let's stick with it. And we're very excited the way it's rolled out across all the platforms. It's new, it's a talking point, and we need people to talk about golf. And we've got another way to talk about it.
There's certainly wonderful exposure as well, getting it out there with the color changes with the professionals and the buffs. Really a wonderful initiative, and they've seemed to have taken to it like ducks to water.
Well, absolutely. A lot of them, so much so. I see one of our professionals just walking straight in and still wearing his buff, which is fantastic. And I think it's quite good. I think the guys are also proud of the brand and have been for a very long time, and long may it continue. And this little initiative just goes a bit of a way to say, hey, guys, stick with us and we'll keep on making things great.
Yeah, also keeping the players safe as well, which is key during this stage. And you guys continue to do just that, make sure that they are protected while also getting the brand out there.
Yeah, we've implemented our health risk mitigation strategy this week, and so far so good. Professionals are learning and understanding that they need to complete their health docs and screen themselves for 14 days, otherwise they can't play. Every now and again someone may forget it, and they've got the backup, if I can call it that, to do the COVID test and ensure that they're negative, and then they can compete. So we've got a couple of fallback plans as well, but the guys are learning that this is the new way. So slowly things are falling into place.
Yeah, everybody's been very good and very responsible about the way they've gone about dealing with the return of professional golf in these COVID-19 times. We've got a good leaderboard set up for the final day of the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship. Darren Fichardt with a bit of a mistake there on the 10th, just missing it right and in the bunker. That's not going to be delightful for him coming across the green, heading towards the water. But it really is shaping up for a fantastic conclusion to this event. We saw last week, I mean, you couldn't have scripted it better.
Oh, absolutely,
with Darren shooting a 64 in the final round to win. And once again, it can literally come from anywhere today.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got Donnie over there who's done well. He's played internationally. He's played a WGC event as well. And you alluded to a word over there, it's shaping up to be a good final day. So maybe that word shape somehow maybe comes into the play. I know that Tyrell Loretta is listening and watching us. So I know that TaylorMade have looked after Tyrell, Jaden since he was 12 or 13 years old. But yeah, so maybe there's a bit of tongue-in-cheek in what you said there, Rich.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be an interesting conclusion to the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship. Thomas, you touched on it, the experience that the guys get playing abroad. It's opportunities that are given to them and created for them by the tour. How important for you guys to make sure that they are exposed to golf abroad, to different courses, different conditions, different players, and let them bring that back here and plow it back into the local golf scene?
Absolutely, Rich. I think looking back at our new payoff line, greatness begins here, is exactly that. We want to be a platform where we expose all of our youngsters to all the conditions we have in our country, parklands through links, courses. And so when they do go and compete overseas, that it's not totally new. And we see Donnie here on 10, tough shot going towards the water there. I wish him well. But yes, so we've got that platform. We're very blessed with such awesome courses over here. And long may our membership base continue. Our sponsors believe and trust in us. Wow, look at this.
Unbelievable shot from him.
Sure.
Really impressive out of the bunker. Tonder really hasn't put much of a foot wrong today. And that another great effort from him. It's interesting to see his caddy Abby with the rake on the grip of the club. That's another initiative you guys have come up with in COVID-19 times to ensure that rakes are not shared and passed around by everyone. And a wonderful new initiative.
Absolutely, and again, we tip our hat to Martin Rowe over here, who presented the concept during the middle of lockdown, going, hey, when we get back to playing golf, I know rakes won't be allowed and courses are tough, maybe all the staff won't be there. What about this idea? So he's done particularly well, so I hope he sinks his putt as well, as we're praising him over here. So this has been his initiative with his partners, and it's been a great one. I think it's been successful. There's not been too many negative comments about the rake, and I think everybody's very happy that they've got their own one as well.
Yeah,
so,
professionals being slightly more considerate maybe of their caddies than normal, walk in one way and walk out the same way as us amateurs do. Not too much traipsing around in the bunkers.
Normally they only hit one shot at the bunker as well, so it's a lot easier for them.
Jade in shape, as Thomas was talking about, an incredible talent, just 19 years of age. The heroics from earlier on in the year, not long forgotten, finishing tied 6th at the SA Open. Best finish by an amateur since Ernie Els in 1989. Thomas, this guy can really be the poster boy of the Sunshine Tour for many years to come.
Wow, absolutely. I think my first hand experience was from our commissioner, Salwa Nathan, when he got the instruction on the request that young Jaden gets an invite to the Alfred Daniel Championship because he did so well overseas. So seeing him play over there and playing at Leopard Creek last year was an amazing experience as well. So let's see our rake man, Mr. Marty Rowe here, maybe just knocks us in quickly.
Pretty lucky the ball has managed to sit up there. It does go away quite rapidly towards the water. But Martin just seeming to struggle a little bit today, just doesn't have his A game with him. And at this stage, putting just too much pressure on the flat stick. And we saw on 8 that that can cause problems. But Thomas alluded to it, the great success Jaden has had overseas, winner of the Junior Players Championship. That's a wonderful advertisement for the game as well.
Yeah, he's definitely got some game, and hopefully he shows a bit of class going through the next year or so on the Sunshine Tour, and then leaps on to bigger and better, greater things.
As Tonder taps in for par and stays clear of the field, that wonderful bunker shot setting up his par on 10 here, and he remains on 9 under. Yeah, Jaden, just a wonderful wonderful young man. Really an absolute pleasure to deal with, and certainly a great asset for the tour to have, and I'm sure he will be around for many more years. It's Martin Rowan now to clean up his par here on 10. Does so, but just certainly not looking like himself today. Got off to a flying start with that 65 in the first round. Flawless golf played by him, but has just lost a bit of momentum over the last couple of days. Shaper cleans up for par there on 10, and he'll stay in the hunt as well. Our winner from last week's Betway Championship, Darren Fichardt, run into a spot of bother on the 11th hole. That's going to put a bit of pressure on him as well.
I'm glad to see that the guys are helping us promote the rakes. There's Darren's wife, Natasha, raking up after him over there. Doesn't look overly excited by what's beneath the sand in that bunker.
Yeah. Not an ideal position to leave himself. You can see where the other two players in the group have managed to hit their second shots too, and certainly a better angle from there on in for Neil Skiddycat and Jaco Ahlers.
I see Skiddy's, I think, best round of the day so far is 3 under.
Yeah, certainly working on a low one is Skiddy. Got off to a flying start and really looked impressive, but as you did mention, Tristan Stradholm, low round of the day so far. 5 under, was 6 under at one stage, and of course winner of Q School a little earlier on in the year. So nice to see him translating that sort of form into a good finish here.
Absolutely, another fantastic player, and I don't know what it is in our country why we're able to produce such great golfers. I chatted to a seasoned veteran professional, Doug McGuigan, a couple of months ago, just saying what is his analogy, or why does he think that we're so good? And he came back with something that made a lot of sense. It may not be the truth, but he said that in our country we compete to win, and overseas what happens is everybody plays and competes, and everybody gets a medal and says, well done, you competed. We played to win, and maybe that creates a bit of fire in the system, and when you win, you know you've done something. Yes, competing is great, and we need to say well done and congratulations, but when you win, you've done better than the next guy. So he says maybe that's why we're so good, because we compete.
Yeah, certainly a lot of opportunities created to compete in South Africa as well. Our junior golf structure is excellent. When the guys come out on tour, they are ready to compete. And Darren's par putt just sliding by there. So unfortunately, he'll drop a shot. But Thomas, I guess that's key as well, to make sure the guys have the playing opportunities that allow them to compete, against the best players in the country.
Exactly. And again, we need to go back and say Golf RSA are doing an amazing job. They put on many tournaments. Obviously, through in the lockdown, they couldn't do it. But starting up now again, they're starting to put their tournaments back on. And they've done amazingly well. And long may it continue. And the guys coming through the Golf RSA structures is fantastic.
Yeah, you guys have a wonderful working relationship with them, don't you? It's important to have that relationship in place.
Absolutely. And actually, just before I came and chatted to you, Rich, I was speaking to Grant Hepburn, the CEO, just about a couple of things of how we can make things bigger and better. And we've got 1 or 2 little things up our sleeve, which we'll hopefully announce in the next couple of weeks, just getting the necessary approvals. But our friendship, our partnership with them is a strong one, a healthy one. And I say this often, long may it continue.
Jaco Ahlers tapping in for par here on the 11th, and a bit of a bumpy round from him today. He's certainly struggled at times, looked good at times, but just not consistent enough. Well, certainly not as consistent as this man in picture, Neil Skiddycat. Good performance from him so far to remain in the hunt and keep applying the pressure to Daniel van Tonder. Can't be interesting if the 2 golfers in the group are struggling alongside him. And Skiddy trying to deal with his own game as he's looking to clean up for par here on 11. So Neil Skiddycat tapping in for par there. He remains at 8 under, closest to catching Van Tonder, who is our leader at this stage on 9 under par. Jaden Shaper now with his tee shot on. Can see the fairway bunker that does lurk there. That's the trouble off the tee for the golfers. The water down the right-hand side of the fairway, not really the issue for them. They shouldn't be flirting with that. Maybe more a shot for us amateurs there, that the water on the right comes into play. But for these guys, they're picking a target somewhere along the bunkers on the left-hand side of this fairway. Very unique swing of Darren Fichardt. Tonder. I guess proof once again, swing your own swing, and
Absolutely.
Don't worry too much about what it looks like. It's what score you post.
Absolutely. We were very lucky. We played golf a few days ago with our REMCOM committee. And often they said there's no remarks column.
Yeah.
And I think they were alluding to their own swings. But yes, there's no remarks column. But Don is a hell of a player.
Certainly has shown over the years, a proven winner on the Sunshine Tour. Good season last year. Started out by winning the very first event of the season in Zambia.
Yeah.
Mapani Redpath Green Door Logistics Open. Martin Rowe, fairly new to the professional game, but taken to it like a duck to water. Really has looked settled and composed, although that's a pretty aggressive line off the tee. That's
Absolutely,
the water we were talking about. Flirts a little bit with that, but in position A now. There's a look at how things stand at the moment in the final round of the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship. It is Daniel van Tonder, 9 under par, who leads the way. One better than Niels Skittigat, with a group of 3 golfers, 3 shots off the pace. George Coetzee, Jaco Alers, and Jaden Shaper. Certainly shaping up for a wonderful conclusion to this, the second event of the Rise Up series. A little further down the leaderboard, Adilson De Silva and last week's winner, Darren Fichardt, in with a shout as well on 5 under.
Absolutely. It's good to see George staying here and actually playing some tournaments as well. Recently married, but recently before lockdown, so I think he committed to his wife saying, I'll stay with you forever. So I hope he ventures overseas, but it's good to see him playing and supporting the tour this side, and Darren staying as well. And
South Africa, no plans to go abroad. George is targeting next weekend. He'll be headed off to do a little stint in Europe, play a couple of events there. I think starting in Portugal for him. We'll have to do a bit of time in quarantine, but that's the plan for him. To get next week's event under the belt, obviously a home outing for him, Pretoria Country Club, an event that he's won twice before the Tshwane Open when it was there, and certainly a place that he loves being around.
Absolutely. Member is all I remember with George every time. He's a member. They can't have a tournament at Pretoria Country Club because I'm a member. I'm a member. Can he do what? And every time it came up, member. So, yeah, home course advantage. If we're allowed to bet, which we're not allowed to do, Rich, I would probably say George's got a great advantage over the next guy. But all our guys are really, really good. But George, very excited. I know the greens are super quick up at Pretoria Country Club, but it should be an exciting week as well. And we'd like to thank our partners, Titleist, for coming on board next week in sponsoring that tournament as well. Bringing all the good they do for the game to professional golf as well. So Leonard Loxton and his team, thank you very much for coming on board and supporting our Rise Up series.
Yeah, huge thank you to them. It is key to have partners like Titleist to support you guys normally in terms of all the goodies that go on, balls and all the sponsorship of the players, that sort of stuff. But to actually come on board and back a tournament as well is massive, and a huge thank you to Leonard and the team from Titleist for doing that for the Sunshine Tour. And nice to have a new partner in terms of sponsoring the event. The new ones that have come on board, Betway, African Bank, Titleist, to get new people in on board.
Yeah, we chatted during the week about how difficult it is to get new partners and sponsors on board, and it's about the relationships you have in the game. And we were very lucky with African Bank. Kayebi will be handing the trophy over. this afternoon. When we chatted to him about the concept idea and saying why we want to do it, he saw the vision, understood what he wanted to do, sees the value in partnering with professional golf. So very, very good from them and excited that they come on board. Betway was a really good conversation. We know that the team loves golf. They sponsor a bunch of professional golfers. So again, it was a simple conversation because of the relationship we've got.
We just spoke about George Coetzee, just seen him tapping in for par on 12. And Jake Roos as well, also
Jake,
with his par putt on 12. Jake's another guy who's been around behind the scenes as well. A wonderful servant of the game and incredibly good to the players. Work that he does behind the scenes as well.
Yeah. Jake's the chairman of the players committee. And I say this with a lot of respect. He takes a lot of bullets from the pros. When things don't go the way they want to, he gets in the firing line. And then he says, hey, Thomas and the team sort it out. So, but Jake's been amazing. He's really been good with Alan Michel and Oliver Becker as his left-hand, right-hand men, and the rest of the players committee. Tough times, but I do feel that we're moving into a space where the relationship between the players committee and the management is getting better every week. And we're listening and understanding more and more what players deem important from what we believe was important. And Jake's been the leader of that, and Oliver Becker as well, which is great.
Lovely guy to deal with. I certainly can't imagine anyone getting too upset with Jake, regardless of what he does or what happens. But
I'm going to interject there, but at the same time, when Jake's got an opinion and he wants to let you know, trust me, Jake doesn't back down either. So yeah, he's a good man.
Nice to have him on board.
Exactly. With his heart in the right place, absolutely wants the best for the tour.
Yeah, it is nice to see. Martin Rowe from the bunker on 11, and left himself a bit of work to do there for his par. Bit of a mistake with his second. Looked to be in a fairly good position off the tee, but Rowe again putting his game under a bit of stress and strain. As this our lead group and last group out on the course at the moment. It's match number 15. Daniel van Tonder, our leader, alongside the two overnight leaders who were with him in that position, Martin Rowe and Jaden Shaper. Shaper coming up the hill there, turns away to the left. Plenty of speed on that. Maybe a little bit too over-eager with that. Has been struggling a little bit with the flat stick. Had a few issues last week. A 3-putt or 2, and really not what he wanted heading into this week, where the greens are as slick as they are and are testing the pros as much as they are. This is the man in pole position to put a bit of pressure on Van Tonder. Neil Skitticat, 3 under on his round today, as he comes to the 12th. Just looking up to the trees there, it's gusty out there, Thomas.
Sure,
I don't know how much you've had a look out there, but there's a lot to consider for these guys in particular over their second shots.
And that's why they're professional golfers. Me, it makes absolutely no difference because it's normally low on the ground. but these guys know their stuff, and that's why they're competing on the highest level in our country. So they know their stuff, and hopefully Skitty hits it close. I'm singing his praises, yeah? Okay. Well, I'd be pretty chuffed myself with that, but and Marty, let's hopefully knocks us in over here for par on 11.
Martin Rowe at this stage in solo possession of 6th place. This for par to remain at 5 under.
There we go.
A wonderful effort from him.
Simple as that, yeah. Again, Marty hit his ball in the bunker for us, just to promote his rakes again. It's understandable. Good thinking, Marty. Well done. Good par.
Jaden Shaper now with a little bit of work to do for his par. Yeah, another good putt from him as well.
I want to say it's a very, very easy green. Hopefully Donnie knocks it in too.
When I was out there a little bit earlier on, it looked like a fairly accessible flag that somebody could get close to, but these guys have certainly shied away from it today and veered clear of it. Donnie has gone at it though and left himself a birdie putt here to potentially get to double digits under par. just drifts away at the end from him. So he'll remain at 9 under, but keeps on knocking on the door like that. If the birdie opportunities keep on presenting themselves, he is going to make a few on the stretch coming in, and he'll be very hard to catch.
Yeah, I see Solly's on Jaden's bag this week again. Solly's been around for a very long time. Good caddy from Thomas Aiken. Again, so I'm just seeing this again. Bunker over here. Marty's had a few words with his professional golfers to promote his rakes. But I see Solly over there giving as much advice as he can to Jaden, trying to help him through to shape up for his maiden win.
Darren leaking a little bit of oil. Looks out of sorts at this stage. Not really in the best of spaces, as he's struggling to follow up from last week. Certainly a lot of bunker action here on the 12th hole.
Absolutely.
Jaco Alers with a mistake off the tee, found the water, and that is 4th shot from the bunker. So a few mistakes as well for Jaco. Not delighted with that either, and understandable. It really is a hole, I guess, for us amateurs. We look at a fairly short par 4 and go, should be cashing in, but there's trouble everywhere here. Absolutely. If you get it wrong from the tee, there's the water. There's bunkers protecting the fairway with an errant drive. And then if you get it wrong with your second, well, water left, bunker right, or you could wind up long here like Neil Skiddercat.
But you alluded to the weather. The wind over there sure looks really, really gusting out there. It doesn't look too cold because Jaco's still in his golf shirt only, but pretty tough out there, I think. I'm glad we're sitting inside, Rich.
Yeah, there's certainly a few spots on the course that are more exposed than others. 16 green is one of them. This, another one where you also seem to get a few gusts, and it's sheltered from the side by reasonably dense and high trees, but doesn't make picking it any easier for a club off the fairway. Skiddy with a good effort there, cozying that one up, and that should be a par for him, so no problems on the 12th for him. Thomas, we're just going to finish up these guys on the 12th and we'll let you go. But another big week looming for you next week, the Titleist Championship at Pretoria Country Club. You must be incredibly excited to get that event. And before they get a few weeks off for a bit of a break in the Rise Up series.
Absolutely, yeah. So again, to Leonard and his team, thank you so much. But again, just before I jump off, to Kayebi and African Bank, very grateful for what they've done. Yeah, Rich, and then we're going to have a break for a couple of weeks, and then we're going to go into our final 2 events of the Rise Up series. We're just waiting for our sponsor to put pen to paper, and we'll be very excited to announce hopefully next week who will take over the last 2 events. So very excited, very lucky to be able to be in this position with our streaming and our new ideas and our plans. Very happy to be where we are. But Rich, I do hope that you wear the buff proudly. I wish you well for the rest of the afternoon.
Thomas, thank you very much. Thomas App, the Deputy Commissioner of the Sunshine Tour. Always a treat having him in the commentary box to chat with us, and an incredible job the tour is doing in terms of promoting golf, in terms of making sure professional golf gets underway in South Africa safely after the COVID-19 pandemic forced break of almost 6 months. But well done to the Sunshine Tour for the Rise Up series and the wonderful work that they are doing, ensuring that there are events for the professionals to compete in here in South Africa. Darren Fichardt, winner of the first of those Rise Up events last week at Killarney Country Club, the Betway Championship, got himself into a position, but struggling a little bit today. Not ideal for Darren, and a little bit frustrated with the way things are going. 3 under par at this stage overall, and sliding out of contention. Neil Skiddercat here, closest to catching Dani van Tonder. 8 under par for him at this stage, just to clean up for his par here on 12. Oh, it's incredibly tough. Those little short putts. Necessary stress placed on the game as Neil drops a shot there on the 12th hole and slides back to 7 under par. Here's a look at how things are standing at the moment. Neil Skiddycat, of course, dropping his shots, sliding back to 7 under, and a 2-shot advantage for Daniel van Tonder, with George Coetzee, Jaco Ahlers, and Jaden Shaper in hot pursuit here at Glendower Golf Club. Not alone in the commentary box, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome Keith Horn to a bit of commentary today. Keith, thank you so much for coming to join us today. You were out there a little bit earlier on. How are things?
Yeah, I was. Thanks, Richard. Lovely to be here. I was out way too early, actually, this morning. But it's a pleasure to be here anyway. I think the wind picked up a little bit towards the back of my second 9, and it's become extremely tough. So I think I got the best of the weather this morning. I just didn't take advantage of it.
Keith, just try and describe to folks who are watching this just the sort of stress and strain that it places on your game, having to contend with wind that is gusting like this at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. It's the gusting wind that's the issue here, It's blowing, and it blows in different directions and different speeds. So 1 minute it's downwind, 1 minute it's off the right. So you have to be pretty precise with your second shots, and with the wind changing direction, it is pretty challenging out there.
Committing to a club, I guess, is key. If you've sort of figured out what you want to go with, then backing it if you do feel any changes in the wind and the direction and speed.
Yeah, I think the greens, heading it into the greens that are quite hard and fast as well, it makes it puts even more premium on accuracy and on distance control. And with the wind changing like that, it does exaggerate your mistakes with the greens being so hard as well if you do get the distance wrong.
Jaden Shaper here on the 12th. Tee is up a little bit on 12, isn't it? It's not as far back as they can push it.
But it's a tough tee shot today. It's straight into the wind. You need just to control it. I think anything with wood is pretty difficult to control with a spin into the wind. So, I just had a 2-iron off the tee box. I think that's the way to go today. Straight at that bunker is your line. We might be up, but it hasn't made the tee shot any easier today into the breeze.
It is an interesting stretch, though, 12 and 13 into the wind before you guys turn and come back with the wind. It offers a bit of a respite over that stretch in.
Well, yeah, without a doubt. Normally you look at 11 and 12 as your birdie holes, and today that's not the case at all. Straight into the wind, it just makes it. These 10, 11, 12 have become surviving holes. Even 13 as a par 5 straight into the wind is quite challenging. So you've sort of got to hold on tight. You'll probably find the leaderboard's going to hold in this position for a couple more. I think everybody's going to try and just hang in there. And as soon as they turn and go down number 14, the par 3, and start heading down, when you're going to start seeing some action.
Yeah, certainly are opportunities coming in for the professionals. Keith, just overall, Glendower Golf Club has been incredible this week. The greens have been raved about by literally everybody we've spoken about.
Yeah, they are perfect. But, look at Darren Fichardt here. He is fearless. He's got driver on number 12. There's water left. If you miss it right, you cannot access that flag. He is so confident with that driver. He's one of the straightest drivers of the golf ball. I mean, that's just phenomenal to drive it down there. That gap with the way the ball runs feels like about 5 yards wide. So that's just terrific. And leading the golf tournament, he's just not even backing down. His foot's just staying down. So that's pretty impressive right there.
I guess it is fairly handy having a few strokes advantage over the person closest to catching you, but to try and pull something off like that takes a lot of guts and,
a lot of confidence,
and a certain amount of self-belief.
For sure. And you know what? There's a lot to still go on in this golf tournament. Like I said, there's a couple of par 5s to come, short par 4s, downwind. Anything can happen. There's a lot of eagles. So even the guys that are 4 back have still got a good chance, in my opinion.
Martin Rowe with the fairway off the tee there. Just trying to get back in position and maybe steady the ship a little bit. No problem for him there. That's generally where guys hit it. Not quite where Donnie van Tonder went with that.
Yeah, that's more where we're trying to hit it over there. Yeah, not all of us have the courage of Donnie.
Just seeing Titleist there, of course, supporters of next week's event, the Titleist Championship at Pretoria Country Club. But back to what's happening today at the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship here at Glendower Golf Club. Daniel van Tonder leading the way, 2 under par through 11 holes, 9 under in total. and Neil Skiddycat in second place at the moment. Pretty good leaderboard shaping up nicely, and there's certainly some big names there and in the hunt. As Keith Thorne said a little earlier on, there's plenty more golf to be played. Lots that can still happen over the stretch, so don't go anywhere. Stay with us wherever you might be watching from, on the Sunshine Tours YouTube channel, Facebook page, or even on DSTV Now. There's lots of live golf to look forward to this afternoon. Donnie looking to cash in here on 12, hit a wonderful drive. Keith, it's a tough flag to go at, isn't it, on 12? It's not one that guys are going to hit too close.
No, it's a tough flag. If you miss it right, you're making bogey unless you hold a long putt. So, something you want to go at, but you really can't afford to go at it. Into the breeze does let you hold it up a little bit and spin it back to the flag. But generally the ball will spin away and go down to the center of the green and leave you sort of a 20-foot uphill putt. But if when you're standing over your shot, you're very aware that right is a bogey.
We did mention the 13th hole, the par 5 straight downwind, and not really an opportunity for the guys to try and cash in here, although it is one of the holes that you see a par 5 and the eyes light up, don't they?
Yeah, for sure. The pin is in a tough position. It's into the breeze today, but you can still get there with the fairways running so much. But you need a courageous, you're going in with a 3-wood or a 2-iron or something, so you need to be a little bit courageous going in there. One thing on 13 today is you can afford to miss it right in the bunker. You can bail out, and it does give you a shot still. When they put the pin on the right, you can't get at it, but you can afford to bail out here and go right and still give yourself a pretty accessible third shot.
George Kutsia seems to have found trouble along the way. This is his fourth shot. Should be all right for a par there for him. Keith, how much did conditions change throughout the course of the day today? Has it gotten slightly more gusty? It generally picks up a little bit, doesn't it?
It has. It did pick up. I mean, I teed off this morning with virtually no wind, but it picked up pretty quickly, and it's just gotten harder and harder. So it has been very difficult. And I think the putting is what's affected the most, especially the short putts, because the greens are quick, and as you just got to get the ball started, and the wind can just wreak havoc with a ball that's rolling so slowly. So everybody's aware of that. Very easy to lose your confidence, and I think that's where we're seeing most of the guys losing their shots today. Is those meter and a half putts are the most challenging, I think.
How much does it play in the mind of a professional when you have, maybe like Neil did on the previous hole, little one sneak away from you? Does it play in the back of your mind?
Yeah.
How tough is it to get it out of the mind?
It does. Especially if you start missing one or two of them, then it just starts to sink very heavily into you, and you start to doubt yourself. And when the greens are pure, they are really great. So it is a case of just trusting yourself. But like I say, you're virtually just getting them started, and you've got a 3-foot putt that's starting well outside the hole. It requires a lot of confidence when the wind's blowing and gusting you all over the place. To hit a solid putt and hold it on line.
Donnie missing out on his birdie putt there, but tapping in for par. Unable to cash in on that wonderful drive from him, but certainly opportunities still to come for him as he remains on 9 under par. Not delighted with that, but still, I guess if you're not dropping shots,
yeah, those are the holes you've
stage.
just got to. Obviously he's still seeing it as a birdie hole, especially after his tee shot, but. If he's not making bogey, he's not losing ground. If he's making par, he's not losing ground to the rest of the field. So I believe Jaden's been struggling with his putter today. I played with him last week. Lovely young man, and really has a good, solid game. He's got a great amateur record behind him, and finding his feet in the professional ranks. But certainly has all the facets that he needs to be a good player.
Yeah, certainly does have the Jaden Shaper really does look to be the real deal. Keith, when you play with a youngster like that, is anyone picking your brains, or are they sort of trying to feed off your experience? Are they asking you questions, or are they just trying to sort of stay out the way?
I think a couple of youngsters do. I think this is my 25th year on tour now, so I can offer a little bit of advice of do's and don'ts. But I think it's exciting to play with the young guys as well. They're such solid ball strikers. Obviously distance is changed completely, but it's exciting for me to play with the young guys and see the upcoming talent that we've got on our tour and how exciting it is for the future. There's a lot of guys. I see Dylan Mostert's playing well. I played with him and Jaden in the last round last week, and both of them are lovely young men and really good players.
Yeah, we are blessed with an abundance of golfing talent in South Africa, and there's a lot of contributing factors to that. Thomas and I were chatting about it a bit earlier on, but the junior setup that we have is great. The courses we have is wonderful, and by the time you get to this stage of proceedings, you're competing against guys who can hold their own with anyone in the world. Yeah, for sure. And I think there's so much amateur golf being played at such a high level and traveling around the world. When they do play and all over the country, that when they do get to the professional ranks, they really are ready to rock and roll and to compete at a high level. They've obviously got a few things to learn, and there's just, like I said last week, us greybeards have a little bit more patience. You learn that you actually don't have to be super fantastic and find anything special to compete. You just need to fine-tune things, and your game will be good enough. And I think a lot of the young guys out there will try too hard and try and find something special to compete when they've actually got the game to do it in the first place. It certainly is helpful having plenty of experience. This another man with lots to draw on. Jaco Ahlers with his third shot here into the par 5 13th. Yeah, Jaco's a terrific player. Oh, and that's exactly the difficulty right there. Now it looks like he's just hit a horrendous golf shot straight over the green, but the wind could have died on him on his backswing over there. He's tried to be aggressive because you need to pitch it behind that flag to spin it back. Yeah, great example there of the flag as you see it. It was lying a little limp and then picked up a little bit. Picked up, so he's trying to be aggressive, pitch it behind the hole to spin it back, and the wind's just died down on him, and now he looks like he's played a horrendous shot when he's probably played it as well as he can, and as well as just the way he wanted to. Yeah, speaking of wind, the man who is out there at the moment and can tell us all about that is Oji Molefe, who is standing by at 18.
Richie, I think Keith is actually 100% correct. The wind did die on that shot, and it's actually on my left-hand side here on the cart path. And I imagine it was actually a good shot that was hit. And the wind is swirling a little bit, but when it does pick up, it's actually very, very strong, which is going to make it difficult for the guys to actually try and judge it. I mean, I wanted to illustrate to you just how strong it is, and it's kind of calmed down right now. But once it does pump, I mean, if I were to throw it across, you can probably see it's probably at about a 2-club wind at the moment. But when it actually gets up and blasts really hard, you're probably playing 3 clubs up to just try and make the number. Thanks, OG. Well, Keith, it just goes to show you that there are issues for the guys out there that they have to contend with the wind gusting like this. Yeah, I think it's going to make it for a very exciting finish. I know that Donnie's got a 2-shot lead, but that is not very much with these gusting conditions. One mistake, one great shot by the other guys, and everybody will be right in it again. So there's still plenty of excitement, and anything can happen in the closing holes. Aside from Tristan Stradom a little bit earlier on with 5 under 67, we're not seeing too much in terms of guys going really low like we saw last week with Darren. I guess the opportunities maybe still to come for the lead groups. Yeah, I think these closing, I think it's the closing 4-5 holes are going to be pivotal. Straight downwind. The pins are they are in an accessible position except for 17. You've definitely got 3 or 4 birdies coming in. Somebody's going to make a move, I think. If you've hung in for these first 4 holes, when you turn for home, 3 or 4 under is very possible. Yeah, certainly you mentioned those holes, 14, 15, 16 now turning and going with the wind. Opportunities there. 16 one of the shorter par 4s, 15 the par 5.
Heard guys going in there yesterday with wedges in hand for their second shots.
Yeah,
There's an
if you
opportunity
get it on the
there.
right line, it does release down a long way. The pin is quite tough. It's just over the bunker on the left. But if you play it just right of the hole, the ball sits nicely and is not a difficult putt from there. So, yeah, eagle opportunity for sure on number 15 as well. I actually played with Neil in the first 2 days, and his game has really come on fantastically in the last few years. I'm not surprised he's competing consistently. His ball striking is impressive. He really has become a quality player that I think can compete on any of the big tours in the world now. I really was impressed with his game.
Keith, it does take a while, doesn't it, to reach that level of comfort where you are reasonably, I don't want to say, you know, safe in your own skin, but you are aware of your game, you are aware of your limitations, how you play, how you go about things, and you've got enough decent results to back up that level of confidence.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's exactly what you've just said there. You're aware of your game, you're aware of your weaknesses and your strengths, and it's about playing to your strengths and handling your weaknesses. And I think the more you play, the better you become at that. And a couple of good finishes, you become more and more confident, and confidence is definitely key in this game.
There's a man certainly who gets the most out of his game, Darren Fichardt, a wonderful golfer. He's shown with the amount he has won, 18 Sunshine Tour titles, a prolific winner overseas as well, and just really one of the better players to come out of South Africa.
Without a doubt, Darren is a fantastic player and has been for so many years. Like you say, he gets everything out of his game. He's a vicious competitor. He gets a bit down on himself and a bit hard on himself. He has very high expectations of himself, and I mean, his record speaks for itself. He really is one of the best players to have come out of South Africa, and certainly for many years. I think he literally hasn't lost his card in Europe for 20 years. I mean, you've got to be pretty solid to do that.
Yeah, and a birdie here on 13 will hopefully give him a bit of a boost as he heads towards that homeward stretch. Yaku Alas for par here. And a good save for him.
And we saw Darren hitting for eagle there. It just shows you it's straight into the wind. And Darren's, I mean, he's not short, but he's certainly not one of the longer hitters. And if he can and get there for two, it means there's still going to be opportunities for the guys behind.
Sneaky long, I guess, is the way to describe Darren.
Long, correct, yeah. He has a lovely ball flight, and he certainly, he gets it through the wind and gets a lot of run as well. He is definitely sneaky long.
Neil Skiddycat with his par on 13. And,
I think that's going to help him a little bit after that short one he missed on the hole before. Nothing like knocking in one on the next hole to renew your confidence.
Glendower remains one of the best courses that Gauteng has to offer. It's a magnificent parklands track that is very much well balanced. The 13th hole here is an almost 500-meter long par 5, and a good drive will give you an invitation to try and attack the in two. But that narrow green is well protected. It's got a water hazard on the side and a bunker that runs alongside the right-hand side. It's a high-risk, high-reward hole that has seen a lot of birdie opportunities this week. Very few eagle chances.
Thanks, OGL. We just saw an eagle chance from Darren Fichardt, and Jaden Shaper with his second here into 13. Keith, it looks like an iron in hand here.
I'm not sure if he's laying up, but he was surprisingly long with his irons. He gets it out there with his irons, but he looks like quite a short club. I'm not sure. Let's have a look what he's up to. Yeah, he's just knocked it down there.
That seems to be the more prudent play.
Yeah, it is. But it's a tough third shot to that pin position on the left. Personally, I think if you can reach, just have a full go. If you do miss it right, that flag is accessible on the front left by the water. It is a difficult wedge shot in with it being just over the water on the left, as you saw with Yaku's third shot over there. So personally, I think if you can reach, then have a go and try and knock it in the back bunker. You know, that's still a safe shot for your third from there.
Yeah, looks like Martin Rowe has got the timber in hand here, and he's going for it in 2.
I think he thinks he needs to make a move now, being 5 under. I think he's taking a chance here. Let's hope he's nice and aggressive in the middle of the green.
I guess commitment to a shot like this, key.
Definitely. Yeah, you can't have any second thoughts in your mind now.
Looked like a fairly low ball flight from Martin. He's from the coast and has spoken at length about the ability to control the flight and how important that's been for him this week in these sort of conditions. Certainly an advantage for somebody like that coming from the coast.
For sure, without a doubt. You know, playing in the wind does take a special talent, and growing up in it, you feel so much more confident playing in it.
Donnie, well, we expect nothing less from him.
Without a doubt. Yeah, you can't scare Donnie. It's phenomenal how aggressive he is. I didn't play it, but I believe a tournament in Kitwe in Zambia. The course is extremely narrow, and he was leading the golf tournament and went out, hit driver on every single hole, and won by plenty. That's pretty impressive. You can't scare him.
There's various strategies the pros have come up with tackling that golf course, and as you say, Donnie, with his aggressive approach, is certainly one of them. Bomb driver everywhere, and hope the spotters can find it for you.
Yeah, but you know, he hits it pretty. He's just caught the trap over there. Like I say, from there he's got green to work with. It does run away from him. So if he's got a flat lie over there, it really is not that tough a bunker shot. It's a case of popping it out, letting it run down to the hole. So for me, that's the place to miss it today.
Yeah, certainly does look like the better way of going about tackling your second shot into the par 5 13th. This now the par 3 as the golfers turn at the furthest point away from the clubhouse and head home. Darren with his tee shot here on 14, coming off that birdie on 13. Keith, what's the pin like here?
Yeah, it's pretty accessible. It's quite hard in the front of the green, but it's not a tough pin to get at. It's yeah, you know, it's at the front. You can see it's downwind, so you know, getting the club selection is right, but I think just a little left of the flag here, because on the right of it you're hitting a downslope. If you can keep it just left of that flag, you can get it inside 10 foot.
Keith, 146 meters here on 14. It looks like it's playing uphill, but it's actually not.
No, it's not. And what's tough here is the wind's behind you, and you can see from that bank behind you can't feel any wind standing on that tee shot. So a lot of guys do go along not trusting the fact that the wind is helping a lot, and you can just feel by Neil there, that is a club too much that he's just hit there, especially since you have to trust the fact you can land on the front edge to be able to get it to pin high there. But it's sort of just in between. It's just a sort of a little chippy wedge.
What sort of markers and indicators are the pros looking for? I mean, you see the willow branches there moving around a little bit. Are they looking for those sort of indications, or are they looking at flag?
Top of the trees is the best way to go, especially if you've hidden from the wind like that. I like to look at the top of the trees and get an idea of which way the wind's blowing. Lovely rhythm Yaku's got. Really is a lovely lazy rhythm he's got. That's going to be a tough up and down. Like I say, you don't want to miss it right. The green does run away from him. It just depends on his lie, whether he's got an uphill lie or he's on the flat.
Still difficult to leave that within, what, 6 to 8 feet is going to be a pretty good effort from Yaku out of that bunker. Now, Jaden, we did see layup on 13, and we'll want to cash in on this wedge.
Let's have a look. It's a tough flag to get at, and that's the sort of the safe shot out to the right there. It is a very scary pin to go at from where he is. I was chatting to Solly after 9 holes in the 9th green. He was telling me that Jaden's hit the ball beautifully today, probably the best of the whole week, but just struggling with the putter.
Yeah, had a few issues with the flat stick last week as well. Not ideal, I guess, when the putter's misbehaving. The rest of the game is working. You look at where he's finished there for 3, you'd Have to wonder, though, if maybe going for it in 2 is a better play. That would probably be your best result in 2,
may have
or
just
your
been
worst
really
where Donny
in
is.
between shots, you know, in between clubs, you know, and just playing for the safer option. But I think that might be a little bit of experience there as well. It's it really is a tough third shot to that pin position from the front of the water. If you can get past it, it really does make it an easier shot today.
Keith, how helpful is it for Jaden at this stage of his career having somebody like Solly on the bag for him?
Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, Solly's carried all around the world. You know, he's Henrik Stenson. He's carried for some top players, and a really good caddy. And they do talk a lot. I think Jaden and Solly, they can chat a bit, and they continually communicate between the two of them. So I'm sure it does help out Jaden a lot.
Yeah, Jaden certainly not shy for a chat, does enjoy it. And here's where Martin's second has ended up. Not the worst spot to miss, is it?
No, as long as he's not too, if he's on the downslope, it will be difficult because it's fast and downhill from there. But if he's on the flat, this shouldn't be too tough.
Maybe considering which way to go about playing this and a change of clubs, what could that possibly be?
Yeah, I'm actually, that's curious because it should just be a lob wedge and try and get it out and spinning to stop it. If he's changing to a running club, maybe he's right at the front of the trap. I can't quite see from here. Might just play a lot longer from where he is. We scored that clean.
And the aerial route.
Beautiful.
And, yeah, nicely done.
Lovely
isn't
shot, yeah. Very courageous catching it that clean and flying it all the way. Obviously still got young nerves there. I would have gone for the one just out the trap and let it run all the way down.
Yeah, obviously had a pretty good lie in the bunker there, did Martin. I think maybe that was his first thought, was to do exactly as you said, run it out there, and then decided to go maybe with something slightly more lofted.
Yeah. I think Donny's in a good position here. He looks like he's further up in the bunker. And also, but Donny's a pretty good bunker player as well. So let's just see what he does, whether he opts for the running shot, which, you know, I think that's what he's going to go for. There you go, just catching it. It is downhill the whole way.
Yeah, and that'll give him an opportunity for birdie. Our leader at the moment, Daniel van Tonder, 9 under par, playing the 13th hole. Let's head out to OG now. He's got a golfer behind 18 for us.
Thank you, Richie. Well, Dylan, you had a solid start last week and a solid finish here. A birdie on 18. You must be happy with your back 9 today.
Sure, yeah. Especially starting off yesterday. I teed off in the afternoon, and I thought I could just shoot anywhere around level. Give myself in a good position for today. Got off to a bad start today, made drop on 2 the par 5, 3 putts. And then, yeah, the front 9, I just managed to keep it going, made a lot of par saves, kept the momentum going. And then speaking to my caddy going to the back 9, I just said, just try and make as many birdies as we can with back 9. Yeah, and then on that par 5, I think it's 15, hit a wedge on there, made a good 2 putt for birdie. 16, hit a good drive, pitched it onto about 15 feet, lipped out. And then on 17, back left flag, probably made my best swing of the whole tournament, 6 iron to about 8 feet, made the putt. Then hit a great drive down the last, wedged it onto about 15 feet, made the putt.
Yeah, in these type of conditions, I mean, what's the key for you to score?
You got to make a lot of putts, because you're going to have a few putts for par. And those, I think, are key to keep your rounds going. Also, the winds are also affecting the ball on the green, so you need to take that into consideration. And I did that very well this week.
Yeah, well played.
Thank you so much.
All right, Dylan Mostert playing very well. One of your few players today to find the birdies on these tough conditions. He finished tied for 15th last week, and this week looks like he'll get a top 10 finish.
Thanks very much, OG. Yeah, nice to see Dylan Mostert doing well. 68 from him today, 6 under par in total. Keith, another golfer to watch out for.
Yeah, without a doubt. Like I said, I played him last week. He hits the ball a long way, a good ball striker. He just needs to sort of narrow down his mistakes a little bit and just fine-tune making a bad swing. He doesn't miss it as far as he does, and I think he'll be, he's had 2 good weeks in a row, so that's lovely to see.
Yeah, he's been able to shake off the rust remarkably well. I guess that's been key for everybody over these first 2 events, is to knock off what rust there is.
Yeah, it's different playing competitive golf. Under pressure, making those putts, you sort of, you build up, you get used to it, becomes, something that you do week in and week out. To suddenly come back after such a long break, I think a lot of guys are struggling with the consistency under the pressure.
Martin Rowe looks to be a little bit frustrated with the way things are going at the moment. 2 over par for him at this stage, 5 under overall. And Darnie now with a birdie attempt on 13 to extend his advantage.
Yeah, this is about right edge. I had exactly the same putt. Pretty quick putt, just get it started on the edge.
Oh, well done.
And not a tough one. But Darnie making it look as easy.
He gets it to 10 under par. Keith, thank you so much for joining us in commentary today. We really do appreciate it and appreciate your insights, and well done this week. And we look forward to seeing you in action again next week.
My pleasure. Looking forward to playing next week at Pretoria. It's a good golf course, so hopefully I can be being commentated on next week will be nice.
Well, you certainly have been doing well to start things off in the Rise Up series, so we wish you all the best of luck next week.
Thanks very much, Richard.
Thanks very much. That's Keith Horn joining me in commentary today. Always a treat getting insight from him into what's been going out today. Finished up a little earlier on and providing some valuable insight as to how things are out there. You can see the breeze is picking up, and it is making things slightly tricky for the golfers out there. Neil Skiddycat continuing to apply the pressure, but out of position on 14, and has managed to drop a shot there. So 6 under for him, and all of a sudden Daniel van Tonder's lead is 4. A very handy position for him to be in, and certainly won't be too worried about the chasing pack. They're just not closing the back on him. He's gotten off to a good start, and a 4-shot advantage for Van Tonder. Other golfers in the mix, we heard from Dylan Mostert a little earlier on. A final round 68 for him, as he's got himself into the mix here as well. Adilson de Silva perennially in amongst the names towards the top of the leaderboard, but joining me in commentary is another familiar name and a familiar face to all of us here on the Sunshine Tour. Jacques Blau, thank you very much for coming in to have a chat with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. The wind was pretty hard out there for me, so the last couple of days has been a struggle. Course is in unbelievable condition. I know the TV isn't really showing it because we usually play SA Open here in the summer, but look, greens are running at 14 on the with no wind. So with this wind, as you can see, it's pretty quick and playing hard.
You have mentioned the SA Open and the way that did prepare you guys for this week. How helpful is it to have that sort of experience around here, Jacques? Having played an SA Open, having played the BMG many years as well, it's helpful, isn't it?
It is, definitely. Basically, SA Open is a completely different golf course setup. Not pins-wise, but it runs way a lot more this week than normal SA Open weeks. The BMG was kind of closer to this kind of time date, so I was lucky to play last couple of BMGs here, so it made it I won't say easier if you want to say that. My score is not really showing it, but yeah, it's the green is other golf courses in sublime condition for this time of the year, especially for Gauteng.
I know they were using 1 or 2 of the SA Open pins over the first 2 days, and I guess guys who do have that experience has been helpful, especially around here. There are a couple of intricacies to this course that I guess you only pick up over time.
Definitely. This hole is a great example. It kind of, as Keith said earlier, you can't feel the wind, but you always know it's down from the left there. And also the tee sets up kind of towards the bunker on the right. So as you saw earlier, Yakuwa has missed it right in the bunker, and easy to do that. So here you kind of need to aim a little bit more left. So Martin Rowe here, it plays 146, a little downwind. It's kind of a smooth wedge or a hard gap wedge.
It does look like it's uphill as well, which
there we go.
It looks like it, and the wind is going with you. So there's a lot of things that are fighting against your natural instinct here.
Definitely. I mean, if you like over the years that I've played here, it feels like it is uphill, like you say, but it doesn't really play uphill. Even though the yardage book says 1 uphill, only 1 isn't really uphill. But yeah, this tee box for some reason always aims right. To you, when you're standing over it, it feels like you're always going to aim right. Yeah. So you just need to aim a little further left, and the wind also pushing it towards the right, which makes it a little bit further, more difficult.
What we have seen from 2 guys already pushing it towards the right, and that bunker is just waiting to catch the errant tee shot. Jaden Shaper looks to be missing on the left, though, and that's a pretty good effort from him.
Definitely is. As you saw, the big bounce, they're definitely firming up. Yesterday we were a little soft in the afternoon. I played in the afternoon, and it kind of still got a bit of backspin there, but this morning, and also now it's just drying out and getting the big bounces before it spins.
Jacques, the greens have been a treat this week, haven't they? We had 14 on Tuesday for the practice rounds, around 13 for the first 2 rounds, and today I believe 12-7 early on.
12-7, there we go. I thought it was still running a little bit quicker, but I mean, Mike, the greenkeeper here, always does an unbelievable job. I mean, just shows you how good he is with having the greens running at 12.5 for SA Open in the summer, and also in the winter, same thing. I mean, it's immaculate. You can't say anything wrong with the greens here.
For my family, only the best home will do. For the best occasion, only the best preparation will do.
You always give the best, but who returns it? African Bank does, with best investment rate. African Bank, we are you.
Third and final round of the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship here at Glendower Golf Club. Thank you for joining us wherever in the world you might be watching, and however you might be watching our broadcast today, be it on the Sunshine Tours YouTube channel, Facebook page, or on DSTV Now. This certainly is the way of the future. Jacques, it's a pleasure to be involved in a tour that does look forward and look to the future and is trying to do things very differently. And one of them is this live broadcast via streaming. It's a new initiative, a different initiative, but an opportunity to showcase you guys to the rest of the world.
It definitely is. I mean, to have the winter tournaments being televised like this or streamed just helps us showing what we can do. I mean, we've got a lot of good golfers here on the Sunshine Tour, and shows everywhere in the world that we are actually competing every week. We're not just getting or entering in an event and we can't compete in world stages. So just shows you again that it's awesome. I mean, this initiative what the Sunshine Tour is doing is great for us. And also your followers can follow as well. I mean, especially family, sponsors, always helpful. Because normally, I mean, if a sponsor comes to you and say, listen, what can you provide me for or help me with or even showcase, then now at least we've got some live streaming. If you're sitting in the office, you know when to work, you can live stream a little bit of golf. And it's always cool to watch golf, especially when live sports are where it is at the moment. We're in a kind of a weird times of the world now, and having some live sports cool.
Yeah, nice to see live sports slowly returning to our screens, and this just the second event back for the Sunshine Tour, the Rise Up series, the new initiative from the tour to get professional golf underway once again. A man who's been fairly quiet today, Louis Albertser, got himself into the second last group out, but that's an eagle putt. Nice. Up ahead, and Louis certainly one to watch out for as well.
Definitely is. That's quite a hard pin to get to, and where he hit his second shot was really good. I've been playing a little bit with him lately. Good swing over the golf ball of the club. Hits the ball quite far as well. And if the putter behaves, he's definitely going to be one to watch for the future.
Yeah, certainly a bright career ahead of him. Only turned pro 2 years ago. No wins, 41 events played, and a best finish of tie for 9th at the Sabaya Challenge. But plenty of top 10s on the Big Easy IGT Challenge Tour, and that helps prepare these guys to make the next step up to the Sunshine Tour.
Definitely does. Let me tell you, those stats doesn't really do justice to him. to be honest, out on tour, I mean, he's supposed to contend a little bit more, and he will once he gets obviously comfortable, because he knows he can compete out here. He hits the ball long enough, straight enough, and you know, as long as the putter behaves, then he'll be good.
This guy always seems to be in the mix, doesn't he? He's never out of things, really, is Daniel van Tonder.
Definitely. He just joined Copperleaf this year, where I'm a member at as well, and we've been playing quite a bit together, and it's just amazing. You know, the way he swings. I mean, he's Donnie himself, and it's unbelievable what he's done. Look, he's very unorthodox, but he believes in himself, and that's the only thing you need to do. If you can make a lot of birdies, that's always good, and he does, because he hits the ball so good.
Powerful man, but great touch around the greens as well. Pretty slippery putt he faced there, and nicely done by him. A par on 14 is never a bad result.
Definitely not on that hole, especially where the flag is. It is not an easy hole to get to. I suppose there where Martin, I mean, that's kind of the play that you need to go for your tee shot. You can't go for that flag. I mean, Donnie was a little bit lucky there that he got a good bounce or hard enough over the bunker. But yeah, I mean, putt for par, yeah. A little left to right. It's always, I mean, I had similar putt for birdie there. It's about a cup outside the left. Relatively quick, but now also with the wind coming from the right hand side, it always feels like when the greens are this quick, it's going to stay there, and there that it is. You know, it feels like it's not going to turn, and then when you hit the putt, it kind of is always low.
Yeah, unfortunately, a dropped shot for Martin Rowe. Not ideal there. Seems to be struggling a little bit today, Jacques. When things aren't going your way, you're in the mix, you're in the final group in an event like this. How tough is it to stay with it and wait for the opportunities to come your way, not force things?
That's the thing. I mean, you tend to force things, but yeah, I mean, you just need to play. You've been in that situation the last 2 days, and you actually did well enough to get there. I know the past experiences. When you get into contention, nerves, hands feels a bit different. It feels like you can't hit the shots, but at the end of the day, you just need to go out and do what you do. This is your job. Stay patient and obviously try and make the best swings that you can and take it from there.
Yeah, experience obviously key as well. Martin seems like he has been around for a while on tour, but still relatively new to the game, and maybe struggling a little bit being in this position, not having the experience to help him deal with it.
Definitely. I played final round with him at SA Open this year. Our third was Brandon Grace, and that day watching Brandon Grace do what he did, and Martin casually did his own thing, and he ended up, I think, top 5 that week. I mean, shows you he can play under pressure. It's just the conditions out here today is making it a little bit more difficult. Kind of doubting yourself, then with a bit of wind, it does make it more difficult.
Magnifies mistakes as well. Definitely. And Darren Fichardt in a spot of bother here on a hole that they really should be trying to cash in. Jacques, you mentioned playing final round of the SA Open with Grace. He was absolutely unbelievable that day. But what sort of things do you take from a performance like that, where you see a guy close out an event like that? What do you sort of take away from watching that and being up close and personal with it?
It just shows you that you don't have to hit every fairway. You don't have to play the perfect round of golf to shoot 9 under par. His putter was absolutely hard. His short game was in perfect condition. And, you know, I mean, every putt he looked at, he made. Myself, I looked at stats afterwards. We both hit the same amount of fairways, or missed the same amount of fairways. He just missed it on the right side. I missed it on the wrong side, and that's kind of what it is. But his putter was really, really good, and it was nice to watch that a player can do that.
Yeah, it's always a treat seeing somebody like that put together a performance in the final round and close out a tournament like we saw from this man last week. A 64 was just ridiculously good, and great touch there after out of position in his second shot in the bunker through the green, and looks like he should be able to at least walk away with a par here on 15.
Definitely. I mean, Darren has always been thereabouts. You'll always see his name on top on the first page of the leaderboard playing in South Africa. I mean, he's just got unbelievable talent. I think great mind for the golf game as well. Just casually does his thing. doesn't really care what the guys doing behind him or around him. And I mean, experience as well. He's been out here for a while.
Yeah, experience key for somebody like that. Nice to see his wife Natasha on the bag. He did joke about it last week that was the only way he could get her to come and watch golf.
Really? Well, that is kind of hard now with not having any spectators, definitely. And that is the way for your family to come and watch, I guess. My wife doesn't really want to caddy for me, so we joked around as well. She caddied for me on the Challenge Tour a couple of years ago, and I was upset. I hit a bad shot, and I kicked my bag off my trolley. And she looked at me like this, and I'm like, what now? She's like, pick up your own bag. You are my caddy. You're supposed to do it. But I mean, just on the other side, it's always lovely to have them around. Natasha and Darren is a good combination, obviously, together. Obviously, married. And just on the golf course, I think Natasha makes him very calm as well. Showed last week, especially on the golf course. That played very, very tough, very difficult. Greens were hard, and he shot 64 last day. It was really, really good.
Back to the tee shot now of our leader, Daniel van Tonder, on this, the par 5 15th. Certainly an opportunity for these guys to cash in, isn't it? Downwind, if they get a good drive away like that looks to be from Dani, that's absolutely ideal. That thing is running 100%. And running and running. That's going to give him a great look at a mid-iron into that green.
Yeah, I mean, even a short iron. I mean, Dani hits it probably a couple of yards past me, and I had a 9-iron in there today. So now with the wind being stronger, he'll probably wedge or even a gap wedge in there to a flag that's just over the bunker tucked, and he can spin it back to the hole.
Yeah, good opportunity to pick up a shot or two there and further extend his advantage. At this stage, it's 3 over George Coetzee, who's moved into solo second place, currently 3 under on his round. Neil Skittercat at the moment in a share of third, along with Dylan Mostert, who's already posted 6, and Adilson De Silva, another perennial achiever on the Sunshine Tour. We saw him in the mix last week, but Skitty does get clear of that chasing pack and moves into a share of second with George Coetzee on a 7 under par. A lot of experienced golfers are in the mix and in the hunt in these first 2 events.
Definitely. I mean, you can see, Adilson, I'm not too sure what their state is in Asia or in Japan. Obviously, he just wants to start getting busy again. So that's why he's out here. Darren, same story. Yeah, it's great to have them out here. Makes the field stronger. And we all want to beat them. But yet again, they've beat me. So back to drawing board for next week again. Darren here for par. Should be a little bit from the left. Quick putt, yeah, as you can see, back
not totally convinced about that.
The wind must be strong, that's why. There we go.
Yeah,
good putt,
pretty good
putt.
solid putt from Darren, and a par there. He refuses to go away. Maybe not the sort of final round he would be hoping for, but not the worst result.
No, definitely not. I mean, as you see there, his second shot where it ended up downhill light. A lot of people will actually, be very disheartened with that, and he just did his own business. Still made par. A lot of folks will make bogey or even double from there. So it just shows you, with experience, keep calm and just do your thing and make par in the end.
This man also vastly experienced, highest ranked golfer in the field this week, and showing signs of shaking off the rust from lockdown, almost back to his best, and just in time for a home game next week at Pretoria Country Club.
That is definitely a home game for Georgie. We all know that. He knows that golf course like the back of his hand. We hope with the new greens that somebody or myself can hopefully beat him out there, but he's going to be a hard man to beat, and he's, like you say, showing some good form, laying in second there. Dilson also got to 7 under now. So yeah, I mean, Georgie always doing well down here in South Africa as well.
Certainly in the mix once again is George Coetzee. This seems to be one of the more exposed greens out on the course, isn't it, Jacques? I was out there a little earlier on, and the wind was really flapping around there. I know the trees around there maybe not as big as other parts of the course, and a lack of leaves there, and it feels more exposed.
16th is always very exposed. I mean, also where the flag is, the back right today, you don't want to go along with that flag. So it is a hard one to get close to.
Donnie with his second here into 15.
Looking good. Oh, just missing the wrong side of that slope, but it's still a good second shot. Will be a very speedy putt from there.
Still an opportunity though for Eagle, for Daniel van Tonder, but a birdie most likely the logical outcome from there, and that will just extend his lead even further. It's these sort of holes that you've got to cash in on, Jock. And how much pressure does that put on you when you stand over a shot like this, knowing you've got to capitalize?
Look, I mean, like myself played today, I know the par fives I need to cash in to kind of make up for the mistakes that I've made earlier. And Donnie's perspective now for him is, if he can birdie this this hole and kind of pot it in, I don't see anybody catching him. So he's in a really demanding position there, especially there where Martin just missed it now as well. It shows you that that flag isn't one to go to. So Donnie, with a lot of experience there, played it to the right side of the hole, and yeah, I mean, just needed 2-putt from there, and he's got a 4-shot lead again.
Yeah, it's putting plenty of pressure on the guys around him, isn't it? When a guy's solid, he's not making mistakes, he's picking up birdies where he needs to, and it's forcing others into errors.
Definitely does. I mean, the guys behind him now need to birdie all the way in to kind of catch him. So Donnie's in a very demanding position there, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be a quick putt, his first putt, but I mean, he's playing well, so it will definitely be a good 2-putt.
Seems to fare well at the start of the seasons, doesn't he? He won the first event out last year, and in the mix here in the second event out of the new season. Why is that? Why does he get out the blocks quickest and maybe lose a little bit of momentum mid-season and then get it up again?
I'm not too sure with that. Like, yeah, last year he started off winning the first event, and now, like you say, again this week, I'm not too sure what it is about, but obviously you want to get the season up and running quite quickly, to get yourself in a good position out there, because I mean, it's going to be a short season this year, and we kind of know it's kind of dash for winner or finishing second for the merit. So I mean, yes, same as every other year, but being a short kind of season, it's going to be a little bit less tournaments, so you need to dash a little bit quicker, start a little bit earlier. So Ndani is in a good position to do it early again.
Finished second last year or last season to JC Ritchie on the Order of Merit. Second runner-up finish for him as well on the Order of Merit. Finished second in 2014 as well. Does have the ability to close that out as well. Maybe just didn't get the results of the closing stretch last season that he was hoping for. But it was a great race coming down to the wire at Serengeti for the Tour Championship, and really a treat to see the entire season come down to the final event.
100%. I played with him final round there at Tour Champs at Serengeti, and you could see there was a lot on his mind. He needed to do very well to kind of get into the mix with JC, and JC just pipped him by a couple of thousand rands, but it was still a good season for him. Like you say, second runner-up finish again, second time in his career. Yeah, good player. Just keeps on posting good scores and doesn't really care what the guys are doing behind him and what they think about his golf game. He does what he needs to do, and he does it very, very well.
I was chatting to Keith Thorne a little bit earlier about that. Not how, it's how many.
That's 100%. It's how many. Nobody sees any pictures on the scorecard. They only see what you signed for after the round.
And this guy always signing for a good score. Dilson De Silva just so rock solid.
Definitely is. One of the best short games out there. Doesn't hit the ball long, to be honest. I mean, if you followed his career, he doesn't hit the ball long at all. But look at there. There we go. I mean, he shows you his short iron in his hand, and he hits it to 2 feet on the 18th hole downwind.
Looks like he's going to post a number as well, a birdie there to potentially get to 5 under for the round, 8 under in total, and that's the new clubhouse mark. It was an incredible shot. Let's have a look at that one again and see just how impressive a shot this was from Dilson. A tricky spot to be in, isn't it, Jock? Yeah. It's not really the right side to be on.
No, it's not. And as you can see, probably was a little bit interfered by the tree there as well. So he kind of had to hit a lower shot, which made it even more difficult.
Little different seeing that tree without the leaves and as intimidating as it normally is in summer.
100%. I've been in spots this week, like the first hole, I always hit 2-iron, 8-iron in there. This week I've hit driver and I've had 60 to the flag today. It's completely different, especially the 18th as well. So the course is playing more different.
Donnie's eagle putt here on 15, and this would certainly be a hammer blow for the rest of the field if he was to box this.
Definitely, it will be. Closing the door if he can. Good rolling putt there. Just missed it a little low.
Not too bad, but those sort of putts, Jacques, you leave enough of those during your round. It does wear on you, doesn't it, having to make those ones coming back the whole time?
It definitely does, especially when you're under pressure or in the lead, and if you leave yourself with 3-4 footers the whole time, it gives you a little extra grey hairs. I mean, Donnie is still a youngster, as you can see. So myself, not old yet, but you do wear out in your career quite a bit if you leave yourself with those putts the whole time.
It does place unnecessary stress on the game, but he doesn't seem to be too worried about that sort of stuff.
Definitely not. Donnie thrives under pressure. The shots that he hits when he's really under pressure is amazing. And hats off to him what he's been doing, and just stuck to his gun, and it shows you again he's got a 3-shot lead. So yeah, it looks like he's going to do another good week this week.
This would certainly be helpful for Martin Rowe, has made a couple of mistakes on the back nine, but this maybe steady the ship. Yeah, good putt for him to pick up a birdie there on 15. He gets to a 6 under. Only 1 over on his round today, and I guess he'll be a little disappointed as to how things have panned out. A tournament that promised so much for him. He started like a house on fire, a 65 in round 1, and really looked like he would run away with things, but maybe slowed a little bit over the last couple of days.
Yeah, definitely. His first round Wednesday was a really good round. 7 under par was really awesome to see on this golf course.
Donnie now for birdie on 15. Nice. Yeah, exceptional from him. 11 under par in total, is making this look easy. Was just having a little look earlier on, not one dropped shot on the card, which is impressive given how tough it is out there.
Really impressive, yeah, definitely. This wind makes it so difficult because it feels like 11, 12 and 13 feels like it's downwind, but it's actually crosswind, and then all of a sudden it's back into you. So it makes shots really intimidating. You don't want to miss the whole long on a lot of these greens because it's all sloping away from you. So Donnie's doing a good job here with having no bogeys.
There's Neil Skidegate now up in the group ahead of them on 16, 7 under par for him at the moment, and that's a really good shot. It's a green that's sort of broken up into almost 3 tiers, isn't it? And the pin really up on the top tier towards the back.
Correct, on the top tier there. So like I said, I mean, it's a really hard one to get to. He hit a good drive there, didn't leave himself with a lot there, so he can still spin it, and really good. It showed you with the shot that he got a little bit of spin back, and a good shot.
Which is handier to be on that side there, left or right? I mean, Neil hit a great shot there from the right-hand side of the fairway. I would have thought left might open it up a bit better.
Left definitely does open it up a little bit more. There's a little bit of a downslope where he came out over. He flew it far enough so that downslope doesn't affect him that much. But yeah, no, the wind is left to right and helping, so it's kind of hard to keep it on the left side of the fairway there. So from the right-hand side, you can still get it close as you showed us.
This is a brutal pin on 17. It's not one to be trifled with. You don't want to go anywhere near this thing. You are dead if you miss this on the left-hand side. There is just no chance of making par.
No chance at all. Such a good flag, this. It's a hard flag to get to as well. I had a good 6-iron in there. Missed it right by middle green, but I knew you can't go left of this flag. Wind is hard from the left. Feels like it's helping, but it's almost kind of just into you. Just left to right. So you're in between clubs there generally as well.
I guess slightly helpful that the wind is pushing you away from the trouble, but if it gusts and then stops and you maybe started on a line that's potentially too far left, you could be in trouble.
You will definitely be. That's why it's always good to miss this hole right of the flag, especially for today's flag.
Jake's been going along nicely the last couple of weeks as well. Jake Rossi seems to have also been able to shake off the rust and looks fairly solid. But up ahead now to 18, Adilson De Silva with his birdie, and That's just absolutely remarkable from him. He posts 8 under par, a very impressive round. 5 under today. It's the joint lowest of the day. And in these conditions, really, really impressive.
It is impressive. Shows you that you don't have to hit the ball long. It's whatever you add up after the round on your scorecard. That's just shows you don't have to hit the ball long, just straight.
And Adilson posting now. It's not looking at this stage, though. It's going to be enough. Donnie looking very comfortable with the 3-shot advantage over Adilson de Silva, who has posted 8 under par. That is the clubhouse lead at the moment. One better than this man who's trying to sneak 1 or 2 birdies over the closing stretch and put something good together out of this week.
Yeah, look, I mean, as you can see there, it looks like you're putting straight back into the wind, but it's down grain as well. So, and it's sneakily going away from you, and it swings a lot there as well. So we didn't really see how it rolled, but as you can see in his reaction, you don't want to hit it quite too far past the hole.
Neil Skiddigat now to continue applying what little pressure there is left on Donnie and the group behind him. Yeah, and cashes in on that second shot. That really was a quality iron from Neil Skiddigat, and has made the most of it with the birdie heading to 17 now.
Definitely has. 2 holes to go, though, so let's see if he can get it close to that tough flag on 17, and then maybe make a birdie there. And then 18th flag is quite accessible, so there's definitely with a short time you can make a birdie there.
Maybe Albert's here on 17. Oh, that is incredibly unlucky for him. Looked to have hit a good putt, but if you're just slightly off on these greens, it's not going in.
That's what makes it so hard, because like you can see there, it doesn't really lip in with this wind. If it was a little slower, then it would lip in, but this wind makes it more difficult. It was a good putt that he hit there. Yeah, just a bit unlucky, as you can see in his reaction.
Not going away, though. First real event to contend in for him of this sort of magnitude, and impressive that he's refused to go away throughout the course of the afternoon.
Exactly. As long as you can make good strokes and stay inside your bubble or inside the moment, then you'll do well. Just shows you again. I mean, what is 4 under par, level par for today in some tricky conditions. So his nerves are definitely intact.
George Coetzee, 7 under par at the moment as he heads to the 18th. One more opportunity to cash in there and maybe post something around 8 under par and join Adilson in a share of 2nd place. But only a few groups left out on the course now. And it looks like the man to beat is Daniel van Tonder, 11 under par at the moment, 4 under on his round today. It's been really impressive watching how he's gone about proceedings. Hasn't looked like making a mistake once, no bogeys on the card, and very impressive from him. Adilson de Silva in 2nd place, George Coetzee, Neil Skiddigat tied for 3rd on 7 under, with Dylan Mostert and Jaden Shaper in a share of 5th on 6 under. Darren Fichardt, winner of last week's Betway Championship, 1 over on his round today, 4 under in total, and looks like a top 10 is pretty much guaranteed for Darren over the closing stretch if he keeps it together. Martin Rowe also out there at the moment, 3 over on his round today, and really is struggling a little bit. Looking further down the leaderboard, a lot of guys who went out early on not able to put the sort of pressure on that they would have hoped to have done. But conditions were tough out there early on. I mean, we see the wind gusting now, but it's been around pretty much the entire day, Jacques, hasn't it?
It has. I was out early, and it kind of came up on my 2nd tee shot. We basically were standing there, and the wind started coming up, and just from there it kept on coming stronger. So it was really hard to conditions that played in all day. Yeah.
Difficult to have to contend with it when it is gusting like this. Not one consistent direction or speed. A little bit of swirling wind as well helps to confuse you guys a bit more.
Very much so.
It doesn't take much, but...
It doesn't take much, let me tell you that. It doesn't take much to make us second guess ourselves. So it is definitely hard. Like I said earlier, I mean, some of them feel down and then it's across and then it's into you. So it is hard to make a good contact on it as well when you're under that pressure.
17 tee here for group standing by here. Neil Skiddercat coming off a birdie. 203 meters is what they've got, playing 196, slightly downhill, and the wind blowing across them. That's the place to miss, isn't it, Jacques?
Definitely is. I mean, that's about, I mean, if you look on a tee, that must have looked very good. A little short, but still, I mean, that's the right side to miss it on, yes. We'll have a little bit of uphill putt, and then once it goes over the crest, it's a little downhill from his right as well.
Certainly not a flag you want to be chasing regardless of your position on the leaderboard. It's one that most of the guys are going to steer clear of today.
Definitely. Sweet swinging Yaku here. I would think he's probably hitting a soft 5-iron in here, just holding it up against the wind. Likes hitting it right to left. Another good swing there.
Yeah, it does look like he is trying to shape it right to left, but
yeah, it's a place to miss it. That's definitely the right side, and the top tier as well. That's kind of where I had it as well. It breaks about a foot from the right hand side and downhill.
Edelson, what a great round today. Tell us about that second into the 18th.
It was quite a tricky one because I took my gap out, and because I had to choose a club to take it out because the wind was sort of in and out and out. So anyway, we chose to take a gap out. So I had to grip down, a very grip down, like a pitching wedge, because my sandwich wouldn't get up there, wouldn't carry the front bunker. So yeah, I ended up hitting quite a nice shot. And the green's also been quite good today. They're quite soft and things, so you can actually hit the green and they'll respond well.
Yeah. Great build up from, you had a great week last week as well to build on that and come out and shoot so well this week as well. You must be happy with the game.
Absolutely. I've been hitting the ball well. I saw my coach a couple weeks ago, John Dixon, at Johannesburg Country Club. So he helped me a lot. We worked in a couple of pointers there. And yeah, no, I'm very happy doing hitting the ball.
Yeah, bit of a wobble yesterday, but you must be happy with the finish today and, getting up there on the leaderboard as well.
Absolutely. Yesterday was a bit of a frustrating day out there. I guess it was frustrating for everybody. I just didn't really putt too well. Hit the ball okay, kept in play. But yeah, it wasn't easy. The wind was quite strong. So yeah, I just wasn't the number I was looking for yesterday, but it was okay.
All right, because you finished with a good number. Good luck. And yeah, looking forward to next week as well.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Just a remarkable performance from Adilson De Silva today. 5 under par 67, posting the clubhouse mark on 8 under par. As Donnie's got himself in a great position here on 16. And
as you can see there, the slope just taking the ball away from the flag there. Such a hard flag to get to. I mean, look at that. It's probably gonna roll off the second tier as well. Just
manages to stay up on the second one, and certainly not ideal from him. Jacques, we're going to say goodbye to you now. Thank you very much for joining us in commentary today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we have enjoyed having you here to chat about things. Good luck for next week.
Thank you very much. Nice doing this for a change, being the other side of the TV, I should say. It's good fun, and thank you very much. I'm looking forward to next week as well.
Well, we look forward to having you in front of the cameras next week for the Titleist Championship, the third event of the Sunshine Tours Rise Up Series. We're coming towards the end of event number 2, the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship here at Glendower Golf Club. Thank you for joining us today, wherever you might be watching, on the Sunshine Tours YouTube channel, Facebook page, or on DSTV Now. Certainly a new initiative from the Sunshine Tour in trying to take the game to a wider audience, and it has been incredibly well received. It's good to see professional golf once again on our screens, and good to see the Rise Up Series being embraced by the players themselves. Playing opportunities galore for those on the Sunshine Tour, and this man taking advantage of them. Donnie van Tonder with his birdie attempt here on 16. It's a birdie attempt only in name, really. He's got himself some distance from the hole, coming up a ridge on this 2-tiered green. And plenty of work to do if he's to get to 12 under par. Pretty good effort from Donnie, but not to be a birdie, and should be a par for him, as he looks to remain at 11 under par. Not alone in the commentary box. The next person in the revolving door of guest commentators, MJ Fulliu, nice to have you here and joining us. How was it out there?
It was quite tough, quite windy as well. Yesterday was also windy. I think playing in the morning field the first round was nice. I heard the guys in the first round had a bit of wind on the first round, playing in the afternoon. So yeah, it was lovely playing. It's good to be out again after the COVID stuff and so forth. And yeah, it was a lovely course to play. The greens were superb this week, and yeah, just looking forward to next week.
MJ, how tough has it been to try and shake off the rust when you come back to competitive play? It's one thing to play with your mates; it's another thing to have card in hand and be competing.
Yeah, it is tough. I'm sure there's ways to get around it. You know. Play at home for a couple of bucks and stuff like that, but for me being in Bloem, you know, you don't have that competitiveness, you don't have that courses available, but I think I did a good job keeping myself in tune, and yeah, it was lovely to know that I can do what I did during this lockdown, and yeah.
How much of an advantage was it for you competing in these sort of conditions in Bloemfontein as well, to having to deal with, you know, firm and fast fairways and sort of winter golf, if you will?
Yeah, I won't say it gives you advantage. Like I said, I think if you do it right, yes, it gives you advantage. But I used what I had, did as much as I can with what I had. And yeah, it was like I say, it was nice to kind of think outside of the box and try and figure out what you're going to do next, you know. Yeah, oh, wow.
Great shot from George Kutsia heading into 18 as he looks to finish with a flurry and potentially move a spot up into a share of second place. This man's currently on 8 under par. Neil Skiddycat with a birdie attempt on 17. I was speaking with Jacques about just how tough this flag is. It's not one that you go after, is it?
No, definitely not. There is a couple of slopes you can use to get it close, but with the wind coming off the left, it's absolutely a tough shot to get it close. But yeah, I think take your 3 there and run as fast as you can.
Donnie's just taken his 4 and is striding to the 17th on Glendower Golf Club with a very handy advantage. It's 3 shots at the moment for Tonder over the rest of the chasing pack. And it doesn't look like he's going to be making too many mistakes on the stretch in. You can just see the flags there, the top of the treetops. It's pretty gusty out there at the moment. MJ, what was it like?
No, definitely almost a 3-club wind today. For me, it was a 3-club wind. I think the guys out there hit it a bit harder, so... But I mean, if most of the holes are down or into the wind, kind of in off the right, down off the left, so it's tough to judge. And then you got this 1 or 2 holes that are straight down the left or straight from the right, or you know, kind of throwing in that odd one out to make it more difficult for you to judge it.
Darren's done pretty well at judging things, and that is par putt on 17. As he remains a good few off the pace, but still going to wind up with a good finish, 4 under par for him, and currently in the top 10. MJ, you currently sitting in a tie for 15th after rounds of 69, 73, and 72. Your overall assessment on your week?
Once again, it was lovely to be out. I've been working on a couple of things. I think it's the first time in my pro career that I feel comfortable over a putter, and it's starting to get better. Still fiddling with a few things, and I think this year's a great opportunity to kind of fiddle with a couple of things, get things right that you want right. But it was lovely to be out. I was hitting it well. I was playing great golf. Unfortunately, it didn't go my way here and there, but you know, you win some and you lose some. If it goes your way, you win a tournament. So yeah, I think if I just stay patient and keep doing what I'm doing, I'm sure the trophy will be close coming.
Yeah, the good results are certainly just around the corner for you, showing encouraging signs, and I guess nice to be able to move in the right direction and stick with what you're doing. It's paying off.
Yeah, no, definitely paying off. There's only one thing that helps in golf is work hard. I mean, if you work hard and you work on the right things, you're going to become a good golfer. There's many ways to becoming a good golfer, but you got to figure out what's your way and what you need to do and what you need to do well to become a better golfer than all the guys out there. And the guys are working hard. Even Van Tonder, I know him. He's a very, very hard-working guy, and you can see it by the scores. Running away with the tournament.
Gonna want that to sit down, but. A pretty aggressive line for Donnie on 17. It's not one we've seen too many of the guys hitting in there.
Yeah, I think that was he tried to hit it just right of the flag, misjudged the wind, and it worked out nicely.
Having a laugh with his caddy Avi about that one. I think you are 100% right. It's playing tough today though. 203 meters, playing 196, slightly downhill for the guys, and one of the more challenging holes on this golf course. Wind blowing across them as well. That's the wind you guys generally don't favor, is it? The one that goes across into and behind is easier to contend with.
Yeah, I think in off the left and in off the right, both of them are quite difficult winds. It depends on where the flag is. But this is quite a tough one because it's kind of straight off the left or just helping off the left, and you can easily overshoot it, and then you got just as much trouble as hitting it left of the flag.
Yeah, Martin's unfortunately missed on the wrong side there, and as you can see where that ball is fed to, that's going to take something to try and save par. Highly unlikely as it may seem, but a lot of work for him to do, just getting out of position on the 17th hole. George is in a pretty good spot here, an opportunity for him to extend his tally to 8 under par and join Adilson De Silva and Neil Skittigat in a share of second place. Certainly giving this one its due diligence, having a good look at it. Hit a good one in and has given him a great opportunity here on 18.
Yeah, lovely to have guys like these playing on the tour here. Kind of makes us feel special at sometimes,
Yeah, he is the highest ranked golfer this week in the field, so nice to have him, as you say, part of the field here at Glendower. Ranked 169th in the world and makes the birdie putt, gets to 8 under, posts a very good score, 68 for George Coetzee, and he'll finish in a share of second alongside Adilson, depending on what Neil Skittigat does, who's in the group behind them. But he'll take a lot of heart from this as he heads towards his home course next week for the third event of the Rise Up Series. And will certainly be one to watch out for there. A good performance here in the final round for George Coetzee. Louis Albertson, maybe a new position for him to be in the hunt here. He's contended a lot in the Big Easy IGT Championship events, but this is the first time really being in with a shout at a Sunshine Tour event.
Yeah, I've seen him practice hard and working hard, and I think getting used to playing on the tour, and I think he's working on the right things, kind of get his head in the right place, and not necessarily working on the putting stroke and chipping or whatever, trying to get the head in the right spot and to play well and to keep playing well when you play well. I think it's tough to play well and keep your mind in the right spot to keep playing well during your round, especially a final round.
Yeah, playing with some big names as well in his group certainly would have done him good to contend with them, and also to make sure that he doesn't go away. I mean, it's one thing to see what Donnie's doing, running away with the field, but to go out and shoot level par in a round like this where it's tough, conditions are tricky, and he's made sure that he hasn't gone away.
Yeah, it's definitely so. Like you say, if it's windy like this, it's anybody's day. If the ball bounces your way, if it goes close to the hole, make 1 or 2 nice putts. You got that confidence, and if you see yourself in the top 5 before that happens, you got a good chance of winning any tournament when the wind blows.
Martin Rowe really out of position here on a 17. He's got himself into a nasty position. The pin is pretty close to left edge there, a steep slope to come up. MJ, if you're in the sitter spot, what are you looking to do here? Obviously, you want to minimize the damage at this stage of proceedings, but how do you even look at getting it close here? Everything just feeds away from you. You're fighting an uphill battle.
Well, first of all, if you've got a good lie, you've got a good chance, but I think the right thing to do is, you know, hit a 10-foot pass, try and get it on the green, take your 2-putt and leave, because you got a good chance on the last hole to make a birdie, get one back. But as soon as you got a nice line, you're standing over it, you know, you got that kind of urge to try and get it close and make a par. And lucky there by the, what's that, a sprinkler hit. That might help him out a bit. But yeah, like I say, if you're standing over it, you know, it's a different story. You wanna hit it close and save a good par or something like that, you know.
Went with the option of trying to thud it into the bank and just hope that it popped up and released onto the green, but not to be, unfortunately, for Martin. And now still work to do to try and make that bogey, as you say.
I think it's going to be it's going to turn out as a 4. He's got a chance to make a 3. But, I mean, still, you got a better chance from 10, 12 foot past the hole to make a par than down there again.
Jaden Shaper with a birdie attempt on 17. But that one's going to drift off, and a bit of work for him to do there to keep it tidy with a par here. But certainly missed off the tee in the right position. But it's really not a hole that we've seen too many birdies on today. Tough one to get close to. And really it is only if somebody holds a lengthy putt that they're going to register a birdie.
No, most definitely. I think the best way to play it is try and hit a shot straight at the flag. And if it doesn't drift, you got a good shot. If it drifts, take your par and leave.
Also, the pin fairly close to the back edge as well. I mean, did that play in the mind as well? We see the slope there that if you do maybe get it a little bit too strong, that you've potentially got what Martin had just on the back edge.
It's like I say, it's kind of a wind that blows either straight off the left or a touch downwind. You know, it kind of gusts between that. So if you get that little gust helping you, you might go over there. You might have a better lie than on the bottom, but you still got a tough chip. It's not going to be an option to putt it on, but you know, you still got a tough chip to make a 3 from the back of the green or over the green.
Martin Rowe taking relief from the sprinkler head.
Shows you if his ball didn't go lie in that sprinkler.
Yeah.
What would have happened?
Yeah, potentially could have come back to him, and that would have been an absolute disaster for Martin Rowe. But is lucky that he does get to place that one there, and still, as you say, has an opportunity to make, however unlikely a 3 it would be, but that would feel like a birdie for him if he was to walk away with a par there.
Most definitely, yeah.
Neil Skiddycat is finishing up proceedings as he heads into the 18th. And that's a bit of a mistake. It, you can see the flag is blowing with him, and Neil realizes there that's an error.
Yeah, I also made that error today. It's kind of an awkward shot because you're looking at the bunker behind the flag, you know, and you're trying to pitch it just 3 or 4 on the green, especially coming in low. You don't want it to skip into the bunker. But as soon as you get up to the green, you can see there's so much space down, you know, past left of flag, where it can spin back or something like that. And yeah, it's quite a tough shot looking at it from the fairway. But I mean, like I say, if you get to the green, you can see it's not as tough as it looks.
This is where Neil has wound up now. He's got the putter out as well. MJ, is that a ploy that a lot of the guys have used over the last 2 weeks? Seem to have been a lot of putters from fringe areas and just off the green, not going with the wedge or anything else.
Yeah, I'm a victim of that. Definitely, you know, off the greens, it's still quite dry, and usually when the Kikuyu is green, it grabs the ball. Oh wow, almost.
And that's why you should go with the putter, isn't it?
It shows you. But as soon as the Kikuyu is dry, it gets a nice roll when you hit a putt. It depends on the grain on the green, you know. If you're not comfortable with chipping or something, you always got the option putting it from the 5 or 4 meters off the green.
Josh Kutia, good final round for you, 68. You must be happy.
Yeah, I'm glad to work some of the rust off the last couple of weeks, and nice to finally put on a decent performance.
Conditions were tough out there. I mean, not too many birdie chances, but you seem to find them out there.
Yeah, it's strange. I think I was 1 over through 7, and I hadn't missed a green, and that's not usually my style. But I kind of stayed patient and tried not to be aggressive, but I ended up making aggressive decisions anyway. But I was a lot more comfortable with my decisions today, and luckily I sneaked a few birdies and maybe 1 or 2 short, but still quite confident about next week.
And happy with the finish as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. If it stays second place, I'm very happy. Top 3 would also be pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. You're going to Pretoria next week, a track you know very well, a track you've won on. Looking forward to that?
Yeah, very excited. It was a tough decision, Valderrama or Pretoria Country Club, but obviously picked the better one.
I do look forward to seeing you next week, and well played this week.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, George.
Cheers. All right.
George Coetzee will certainly be one to watch next week at Pretoria Country Club. A great finish for him today. A 68 getting him into a share of second alongside a Dilson De Silva and Neil Skittycat. Daniel van Tonder, though, is powering to victory. A 3-shot advantage for him as he looks to close in on Sunshine Tour win number 4. Jaco Alers now with his birdie putt. He's got a little bit of a problem with something in his ear. I think a bug might have flown into his ear. Seems to be okay now, but a moment of concern there for Jaco Alers. This for birdie now to finish off his round. Hasn't been the best of days for him. A few errors, and this would certainly sweeten things for him. Yeah, the birdie. He gets to 5 under, but still struggling with something in his ear. But we'll be pretty happy with that.
I think that was a birdie flying into his ear, right?
Definitely something he had to contend with there.
It's quite a tough putt down there. Swings quite a bit.
Darren Fichardt with the par, and he'll finish up on 4 under. Not quite the heroics from last week, but another top 10 for him. And good results regardless, although 1 over for his round today. Not going to be delighted with that, but just didn't seem to be happening for him. Credit to him, though, that he stayed with it and remained patient. MJ, how tough is it that you come off a good performance, the next week you expect to do the same thing, but it doesn't always work out like that, does it?
Yeah, I've got a rule to myself, play with low expectations. I've learned my fair share of playing with high expectations. And as soon as your game is good, it's tough to play with low expectations. But I think that's kind of a recipe, is playing with low expectations, knowing you're playing well, going out there with the right mindset, and, that kind of makes it easier. And you kind of think more about things, and you're not thinking everything's going to come your way. You try and hit good shots, and you try and hit good putts. So yeah, definitely playing with low expectations whilst playing good is quite a tough thing to do, but it's something you need to do out there.
Yeah, certainly if you want to be in the mix and in the hunt, that's key to it, the mental aspect of it. And somebody who's been rock solid today has been Daniel van Tonder, not a single dropped shot on the card, and that is impressive given how tough it is.
Yeah, no, that proves to you why he's on the top of the leaderboard. I think being in the top 5, no bogey, brilliant golf, brilliant mindset.
Looks to be in cruise control at the moment, does Daniel van Tonder. As potentially striding to his 4th Sunshine Tour win. Been on tour for quite some time. 2011 he turned professional. And took a while to really get going. 3 years before he bagged his first win. That was in 2014 at the Investec Royal Swazi Open. But that was also the year he finished 2nd on the order of merit for the 2nd time. First time in his career, but 2nd time overall. Also won at the Vodacom Origins Euphoria. And then last season was impressive. Out the blocks quickly with a win early on in Kitwe. You know that course. You know how tough it is to pull off a victory there. It's an impressive showing early on.
Yeah, no, definitely one of the tougher courses. One of my favorite courses out there. Hopefully we're going to have a tournament there soon again. And yeah, it's going to be lovely to play there again. But yeah, once again, he's a hard-working guy. It just shows to you that, you know, you can't get ahead of golf. You know, keep your mind, keep your status, and just try and do the best you can on every shot you play. You know, that'll keep you on the top of things. You know, if I can say it that way. Yeah.
Looks like he's striding up the left-hand side of the 18th hole. Potentially a spot of bother for him there. It all depends on the sort of lie that he has and what he's got in terms of tree trouble blocking his shot into the green. We remember from a couple of years back, Andy Sullivan in the SA Open hit a remarkable second shot into this green, but it doesn't look to be too bad for him there.
No, I think a guy with his experience, it's definitely not a wrong play to hit it left, especially with that flag. You know, you got so many options from there. You can chip it short, you can hit it in the bunker, you can even get it on the green if you got a nice lie and a nice gap through the trees. Definitely not a bad play on the left.
Right is certainly the more conventional way of going about 18, and I think Jaden and Martin Rowe have followed that route as opposed to the left-hand side. But that's a look at what you have in for your second shot, Jaden, on the left-hand side of the fairway, but right of Tonder, and a good angle into the green from there.
Also a wonderful golfer to look out for, Jaden Shaper.
Yeah, slightly right of the pin there, but not a bad position to be in really for him. But also hasn't looked like it's happened today for him. He struggled early on and has not really been able to get things back. But MJ, just for you, watching a guy like that begin his career, how impressive is what he's been to you?
No, definitely impressive. He's a cool and calm guy. I haven't met him really, I haven't played with him or anything, but you can see he's got a cool and calm personality. I think that's the right thing to have in this game. And yeah, I just hope the best for him. The more guys make it out of here or from the Sunshine Tour, the better, you know. A very talented player, as I heard and as I've seen.
This another talented player, Martin Rowe, and a good shot from him in on 18. We'll also be looking to finish with a flourish. Both he and Jaden Shaper currently tied 6th at the moment, and that on 4 under par. But Daniel van Tonder in cruise control and looking to close out victory here. This is second into 18. He seems to have been in control of proceedings for the whole day, in control of his swing, in control of everything. And this is just another example of that, using the backstop on 18. Maybe he knows this a little bit better than we do, looking at that shot in. There is that bank to suck it back with.
Oh, he's definitely not a safe player. You know, he's quite an aggressive player. So once again, if he's got a good day going for him,
Niels Kirikat, chalk and cheese between last week and this week. You must be happy to find some form again.
Yeah, it was nice to putt on some quick greens again. You know, I quite enjoy putting on quick stuff. Got me a little bit on the back nine, but yeah, nice to find a bit of form. I played really good last week, just couldn't make any putts. But yeah, I'm excited what's happening, and yeah, just fell short today. And obviously Donnie's playing really good golf, so well done to him.
Yeah, you got off to quite a fiery start there on the front nine. Tell us about that.
Yeah, just I made birdie on 2, almost had a hole in one on 3, made a great putt on 4, and the putter was kept me in it, and then it kind of fell asleep on the back nine. But you know, in these conditions and on quick greens, it's really tough to putt on these things. So, but it's exciting, and you know, this is what we want to play on week in and week out.
Yeah, so you must be looking forward to next week.
Yeah, PCC. I played there a couple of weeks ago. The greens are just as quick as these, maybe quicker. So I'm excited for that. And, I love the golf course. We've played a lot of 20 Opens there, so I'm excited.
Well, Neil, well played today. We look forward to seeing you next week as well.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Good result for Neil Skittycat this week. A share of second place for him. It's not going to be enough to bag the victory, but still a good finish regardless. 8 under par for him in a final round. 69 joins George Coetzee and Adilson De Silva in second place. Jaden Shaper may be looking to nudge his way up the leaderboard with a chip in here. Interesting play, MJ?
I think that slope in front of him is just too much to hit a putt. It's quite a sleeky one down there.
Yeah, that maybe got away from him a little bit, and as you say, sloping away from him, it's always going to provide the one coming back to be maybe longer than he would have wanted it to be. But getting back to Daniel van Tonder and the way he went about that, bringing the ball back towards the hole off that slope, you can't really see it from this angle, but there is quite a pronounced slope towards the green from where he's just walking back now.
Yeah, definitely. I think I was kind of scared of going into the bunker, having the knowledge of that little slope there when you get up to it, knowing it'll come down there, it speaks by experience, actually using the danger to get it close to the hole.
Been so impressive to watch him go about things today. Martin Rowe will be hoping to finish with a flourish, but it hasn't really been a day for him. One that he'd rather forget. Currently 3 over on his round.
Ooh.
And not to be. Made a bit of a mess of 18 yesterday. 3 putts at the last hole to finish on 7 under. Could have been outright leader, but still a pretty good week for Martin. He finished tied 7th last week at the first event of the Rise Up Series, the Betway Championship. He's going to bag another top 10, but really, by his standards, he'll probably be a little bit disappointed with that finish.
Played with him last week. His trophy's also not far from coming. He's playing real solid golf.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jaden's going to drop a shot on the last, and that will drop him outside of the top 10 as he slides to 3 under par. Not the sort of final round he would have been hoping for, but really was on the back foot early. A couple of mistakes, but not to be for him this week. For this man, though, it's been a procession towards victory. And Daniel van Tonder looking to wrap up Sunshine Tour win number 4. Oh, unlucky. It's a par, though. It's a phenomenal final round performance, and it's win number 4 on the Sunshine Tour for Daniel van Tonder. Kisses Abby, and really a wonderful showing from him. A 68, a flawless round, and a worthy winner at Glendower Golf Club in the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship. What a performance. What a final round. We'll be absolutely delighted with that. MJ, thank you very much for joining us in commentary today. It's been wonderful to have you in the booth and to share your insights with us. We do thank you for that. Good luck for next week. I know there's a bit of a break after that, but we look forward to seeing you in action at Pretoria Country Club.
Thank you. Only a pleasure.
It's been wonderful having you in the commentary booth with us. MJ Viljoen joining us today in commentary as we watch Daniel van Tonder move towards the score recording area as he signs his card for a 68 today. It's been a really impressive showing from him as he bags Sunshine Tour title number 4. Let's have a look now at his first putt on 18. It just looked like it was started a little bit too far right. It wanted to come back. It would have been a grandstand finish for van Tonder, but a par nonetheless. Seemed to be out of position, but a lovely second shot into 18, and a kiss for the wife, Abby, and a wonderful performance from him as he wraps up the victory. Really impressive. A 3-stroke triumph from van Tonder over the rest of the field. He finished on 11 under par, clear of De Silva, Coetzee and Skittercat, with Dylan Mostert enjoying another good week. Solo 5th for him as he ended on 6 under par, but a runaway victory for Daniel van Tonder and a really impressive showing from him. Looking further down the leaderboard there, Dion Germisay sneaking into the top 10. A good final round from him, a 68, got him into a share of 6th spot on 4 under par. Luke Brown, Louis Alberts, Darren Fichardt, winner last week of the Betway Championship, also in a share of 6th alongside Yaku Ahlers. There's a look at how things finished up at the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship here at Glendower Golf Club. It's been another wonderful week on tour, our 2nd event back. And Daniel van Tonder, the champion, 4 under par for him today, a 68, got him to 11 under, and a 3-shot victory over Adilson De Silva, George Coetzee and Neil Skittercat. A consummate performance from van Tonder, bogey-free, and really every bit of the champion that he looked throughout the course of the day. Began this event with a 67, a second round 70 yesterday in conditions that were slightly trickier. Did seem to struggle a little bit despite getting off to a fast start. He made 3 birdies in his first 4 holes yesterday, but eventually only signed for a 2 under 70, 3 bogeys along the way. Curtailed his progress slightly on the way in, but he did enough to get into the final group alongside Jaden Shaper and Martin Rowe. They were all tied on 7 under par when they teed off this morning at Glendower Golf Club, but van Tonder powered clear of the pack. We were expecting a couple of golfers to make a charge, and we saw it. Adilson De Silva, one of them, 5 under par, the low round of the day, and a really impressive performance from him. Tristan Strydom also joining van Tonder in posting a 67 as he moved up to a share of 12th place alongside Jake Redman and Jaden Shaper. Well, it wasn't the youngster's day today. 4 over par for him, but he will have learned plenty from the experience. Will certainly come back stronger in the next event. Looking further down the leaderboard, golfers really struggled early on. Conditions were tough and it didn't make things easy for them. But the vastly experienced Keith Horn, who we had in the commentary booth a little bit earlier on, with a 1 over par 73 today, 3 over par for him overall, and another good finish from him. But the day really belongs to Daniel van Tonder, 68 to get to 11 under par and claim victory here at the inaugural African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship. A really solid performance from him today. Managed to card 4 birdies on the round, not a single dropped shot, and really a good showing from van Tonder. 11 under par, rounds of 67, 70, and 68 as he bags Sunshine Tour win number 4. We will be heading down shortly to the prize-giving presentation, and we'll also be hearing from our winner in just a little bit, Daniel van Tonder, his thoughts on the round today. Got to be happy with the way things went. Really couldn't have gone any better for him, surely according to script and according to plan for him, as we'll be crossing live now to our winner and heading down to OG for the prize-giving presentation.
Thank you, Richie. What an amazing tournament, the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship, going off without a glitch this week at the Glendower Golf Club. It's been an amazing course for the players to play in. They enjoyed the greens. The weather was a little bit tricky here today, but I guess for Daniel van Tonder, he did enough to win the championship, shooting 4 under a bogey-free round today. And yeah, a magnificent tournament altogether. Thanks to African Bank, obviously, for coming on board and supporting the Sunshine Tour. We always appreciate our sponsors. Thank you to Glendower as well for putting together an amazing golf course this week for the professionals. I know that they absolutely appreciate it. And at this moment, I would like to call in our champion, Daniel van Tonder. Danny, first of all, congratulations. Amazing golf. I mean, last week you said you were happy with the game and where it was, but you must be happy to close out with the victory here today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been playing well for a while. We've been working hard in the game in the lockdown and everything. Been gymming, been working. I mean, support from my wife and sponsors, you know. So we've been keeping up and been trying hard.
Fantastic. What a great champion. And with our presentation party as well, we've got Tate Kaibe Mullo, who is the marketing manager of African Bank. And at this stage, Rekaibe, I'd like to call you to present our champion with the trophy.
Congrats. Thank you. Well done. Thank you.
Single shots.
Daniel shooting 4 under here today. A bogey-free round to actually close off what has been a great championship. And congratulations to him once again, doing well on the Sunshine Tour. And there's a lot of people to thank. We've got the sponsors. Thank you to African Bank. Thank you to Glendower. Thank you to the media and all the nomads as well this week. And Danny van Tonder, our winner here today.
There's Daniel van Tonder finishing up on 18 as he claims the victory with a 2-putt par, a 4-under par round of 68 and 11 under in total. It's been a great performance from him all week as he bags Sunshine Tour title number 4. From everyone here at Glendower, thank you so much. It's goodbye for now.